Good evening and welcome to episode 6 of TOYBOX Talks, even though it's really, once you include all our technical hitches, episode 2000 of TOYBOX Talks, but I'm being nice. So tonight we're going to go through a few different things, a few different Hasbro reveals, not just Star Wars, but there's been a Marvel Legends that was out late yesterday. Going to go through a little bit of Mutu. We've got a fair bit lined up tonight. As usual, you got any questions, comments, or anything like that, feel free to chip in. So I'm going to bring on, first of all, the brother from another mother, or brother from another brother, Mr. Harris. Good evening.
G'day, Simon. How you going, mate? Mate, you know what?
Bad for...
Just while you waiting for you to put me on. I'm trying to do the Star Trek fingers, and I just can't do it. And I'm thinking, like, my God, you know what? I think I'm, just born to be Star Wars and fuck Star Trek, right?
I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Definitely not touching that one.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Definitely not touching that one. Next up, it's someone that probably will touch it because he touches Chewbacca all the time and he's a big brown dirty thing, is Ian. Good evening, Ian.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not even going to touch that one either. This is turning into a really, really good night.
Right. Good start. Great start. Evening, fellas. Hello, everybody.
Ian, cheers.
Cheers.
So the other member of our intrepid foursome is currently MIA. There are rumours that people
are touching something as well.
I was being nice. I wasn't going to go there, but apparently that is possibly on the cards.
No. Ian, Simon, sorry to interrupt. I don't think Tubbsy is touching something else. I think he's touching himself.
I just had dinner. I really didn't want to know that.
Let's get straight to the point.
So tonight, obviously, we're going to go through quite a bit. So the boys will be able to talk Star Wars. We're going to cover Star Trek tonight as well. Dun, dun, dun. That's probably why Tubbsy isn't here, because he's got this whole Star Trek thing. But he also had this thing against Pops, and look where we are now. So we're going to kick into that in a second. But I just wanted to touch on, before we got too far into tonight's show, over the weekend, we had the sad passing of Darren Felzel, who I know a lot of people that will be watching this will have had interactions with him. He was quite present in a lot of the groups. A diehard Star Wars Batman Mutu fan. So I thought to start off tonight, to take an acknowledgement, because I've had a lot of interaction with him as well. To use a quote from one of his favourite heroes, Batman, a hero can be anyone, even a man doing something as simple and reassuring as putting a coat around a little boy's shoulders to let him know that the world hasn't ended. That quote sums up Darren very well for those that knew him personally, but even those that had a passing and fleeting relationship with him. He would always just check in with you just to see how you're going. He'd encourage you to do things, and he was just a really lovely guy. He was one of the true giants in our toy scene, whether it was through his work with the Toy Power podcast, which is where a lot of people know him from, participating in local conventions in South Australia, or from my personal experience, just meeting a random guy from Sydney for a drink while I was passing through South Australia. He showed his kindness, passion for collecting and pop culture, and support for all his friends. Darren was what you would consider to be a true friend, a person to look up to, and a real source of knowledge, especially for Mutu knowledge, which I really do thank him for. I can say a lot more than what I've said here. I personally, from my point of view, I'll be sad that I won't be able to bend his ear for a bit of advice every now and then. And a lot more will be said about Darren in the coming days and weeks, but I'll finish it here in the following that comes from Batman Begins, and it could have been said by Darren as well. It's not who we are underneath, but what we do that defines us. Rest in peace, my friend, till we meet again on the other side. And I'm sure there'll be quite a few people that will have something very similar to say as well. In the meantime, the final member of our crew on board the Star Trek TOYBOX Talks has joined us, and that's Ben.
Hey guys, sorry I was late.
Yeah, mate.
Sorry.
Yeah, we all know it had to do with Pops.
Yeah, well, no, I had to do my hair, so it's like a nice.
Oh yeah, both
Over now.
of them look good.
Sorry,
Both of your hairs look good.
that's right. Don't you forget.
So Troy's joined us as well. So good evening, Troy.
Hey, Troy.
You know, I can say a few things there. But I'll be nice tonight. So, like I said, we're going to kick into a few little things here. So, one of the first things we're sort of going to cover off tonight is obviously we've just come off the Hasbro Pulse live stream last week, which happened while we were on hiatus, and one of us was drinking and the rest of us were drinking, and one of us was just absolutely lazy and couldn't be bothered throwing stuff together. Not naming names. So we're going to start with HasLab. So obviously HasLab has come out and done their little reveal for the Razor Crest packaging. So I'll just bring that up. Sorry. So this is the packaging for Razor Crest. So obviously we now know there's going to be a delay. It's likely to be I guess you'd probably say February, March sort of delivery date now. Just because of the way shipping and that is going in the States and overseas, which I've got a bit of news on that tonight as well. But what do you guys think of the packaging? Because the packaging is actually not too bad, in all honesty. It's better than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I like the colouring in competition thing at the back. It looks pretty cool.
We call it the credit collection.
Yeah, we'll get to that little thing. So I actually quite like it. It's quite a modern sort of twist, but it's not too modern. It sort of has that same sort of feel as what the rest of the collection has. Obviously, there's going to be, and I particularly like this little side panel bit where you can actually see the thing being pulled to pieces by the off-world Jawas that you can't get anywhere at the moment, but hopefully by February next year you'll be able to get. Yeah, so I was actually quite surprised at how sort of small that box actually looks. Whether or not it's actually going to be that small is an entirely different thing. But Ben, I know you got one on order.
I do.
Does the box give you any illusions of what's sort of coming up for you? Is it something that you're sort of like, maybe it won't be as big as what I think it's going to be in terms of just storing it, or?
Box wise, I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm definitely going to open it. I think it's a beautiful piece. I was not lucky enough to get the Jabba sail barge, so the only thing, I have no idea where I'm going to put it. No clue at all. I mean, just the snow speeder there, that's probably the only place I could put it, but then I've got to find a spot for the snow speeder, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do, but
yeah,
anyway, looking forward to it. So
it's a bit of a hard one. Harris, obviously you collect some of the VC stuff. What are your thoughts on the packaging?
I think the first, based on the first glance, it does look a bit small. I was actually quite surprised. However, from a design point of view, I do quite enjoy. Oh, not enjoy. I do actually quite like the that sort of mixed modern as well as vintage kind of design. And this is probably the first vehicle that we've seen with the Mandalorian. What do you call it? Branding, right? So, it looks good. I like it. And I guess just a bit of a suggestion for Tubbsy. I mean, if you can't find a place to put it, I mean, feel free to. I got some place here.
Put it in your
Oh,
bum
God,
bum.
I knew that was coming. You all knew that was coming. You all knew that was coming. So obviously HasLab's been delayed till next
If I
year.
did that though, you'd see Harris doing this down the road.
I'm not even touching that one.
Get out.
Not touching that one tonight. So obviously we're not going to see this till next year. It's basically been delayed, which I can give you an example. So a person I deal with something, one of my little side projects, touched base with me today. He's got a 40-foot container that's sitting in I forgot which harbour it is now, but it's the main Chinese harbour from Shenzhen. Normally, a 40-foot container to ship it to Australia would be about $5,000. He's got $45,000 worth of stock inside. It's going to cost him at least $15,000 to ship it home at the moment. So you can see that is a massive price difference, and it sort of explains why I think Hasbro's been pushing a lot of these releases back a little bit, and why we're seeing a little bit of stuff not in the mainstream market.
You know,
At work, we're paying anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 for containers to come in at the moment.
Wow.
Because the price is just, and we've got millions of dollars worth of stock on order, and can't get it quick enough. And whoever pays more gets their containers on the ship first.
wow.
Money talks.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You know, I actually saw a some post last week that they're returning stuff to senders back in the US because of COVID. They're stuck at customs and they get sort of sent back, right? I can hear some echoes, by the way. And then so my packaging, because I always do 2 shipments from the US for my first half, my first 6 months. I just got mine sent. It costed me $300. Right?
I think we know who the echo is now.
It's definitely you, Topsy.
Why?
I can hear you moving it around. No one else is moving.
Sorry, Harris. Not laughing at you, mate.
Sorry, because I was late. Just bear with me 2 seconds. Hang on. I'll just disappear for a second. Ready? And then I'll
I don't know why he made a big show of that, because I could have done that. But yeah, you're exactly right. So, United States Postal Service.
Yeah, so I decided to go with FedEx for $300 rather than USPS when you can't guarantee a date, or it could be maybe until January next year, and it might get lost or sent back or whatever for whatever reason, and save myself $100, of course. But at the end of the day, I've got my stuff actually just arrived today, and lots of news figures. I'm so excited to put it out. And awesome.
So USPS dropped this last Thursday morning, I think it was. eBay was the one that actually put out like an email about it.
Any better?
And it's Tubsy again. This is why you don't come late to work.
No, Simon, one thing that Topsy didn't actually mention, he actually pinged me beforehand. The reason why he's actually joining late is because he went to a bike shop, went to get a bike and some tight shorts.
I'm a mammal.
Yeah, okay. I know where that's going.
I need to get
so, Troy, yes,
as good as I do.
That is sort of what's happened with that wave. So it's sort of been like shipping globally at the moment is an absolute fiasco. It's not going to clear up this year. It's almost guaranteed to go into next year, because you have, after Christmas, you immediately go into Chinese New Year. So there's basically 2 weeks in late December and early January where there's shipping. Chinese New Year, basically the whole country shuts down for about a month, if you're lucky. Sometimes they will expedite some stuff, but Yeah, and everyone is trying to ram shit on ships at the moment. That if it gets here, it gets here. That's the harsh reality. But United States Postal Service. Really?
Yeah.
Not me this time. I just muted it.
Yeah, so United States Postal Service is obviously a bit of a concern, because that is basically the main agency that eBay uses overseas, which they've already said it's not going to affect eBay. But outside of that, I think you've got to be realistic too. It's the same with every freight provider. That's just the reality. It's a bit of an interesting one, Troy, in terms of how we get things, because sometimes it's a bit strange with how that sort of thing works, and sometimes it's just a case they might actually be on a ship that left later, but for various reasons that ship will come here first because it hasn't stopped anywhere else. And Edward, it's nice to see you back again after a week off of vacation, I guess you'd call it. Shipping is shipping at the moment. You're just going to have to bear with it and work with it. So obviously from Razor Crest, I guess we go to reissue with new paint job without actually caring or anything like that about anything new. It could only be it has to be basically the Black Series. So I'll just bring that up. That's not doing it for some reason. So it's a few technical little difficulties.
Not me. I disconnected my microphone.
No, it's not the microphone. It's something that's going on here.
Yeah, yours is all crackly when you're talking.
Yeah, I'll fix it in a second.
Cool.
Okay.
I like the look of this one.
Was basically the first one that they sort of revealed. It actually didn't come up in the live stream at all. So obviously, the 50th anniversary Max Power of the Force bloody card without the muscles. Any thoughts on this guy, guys? Ian?
Yeah, I like this one. This one looks good. Of course, goes without saying, but I'm hoping that medal goes on Chewie. But anyway, we've been down that path before.
You didn't deserve one.
Whatever. You need to mute yourself again.
Right, we went through this last time.
No, I like the card. It's obviously a throwback to the to the original. It looks good, and the figures, awesome.
I still can't believe how. I mean, this sculpt is pretty good, but I still can't believe that they can continually not produce a good-looking Princess Leia figure. The face is still not right. I think there's only been one. I think Endor Leia looked good, and that's really. Oh, the Hoth Leia was pretty good as well. But yeah, I don't know. There's just something off about the face.
Yeah, front on looks worse. That picture there, that's not that bad. You at least know who it is.
Yeah.
And she's got the medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, Endor Leia looked great. What did I say the other one was?
Hoth Leia.
Hoth Leia was good. But yeah, they've consistently stuffed it up with Leia's face. Although technically that is better than the monkey face that originally came out on that.
Hey, Simon.
Yeah.
I know you're going to talk about the next thing, but can I just have a bit of a screen time?
No.
There you go, brother.
Oh, geez, Simon, your mic.
Your mic is poo.
This one.
Yeah.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one here actually looks all right. She looks like, Princess Leia. Well, Senator or Admiral. Oh, it's not Admiral. Senator.
General.
So yeah, there you go. Kiss me. Oh.
A little insight on how Harris plays with his toys, but anyway, moving right along.
Oh, Harris, you're so good looking.
On that note, call me 1-800-468-8377. All right.
Oh God.
Can he not have any screen time from now on?
It's becoming.
I think we can organise it.
It's becoming a worry.
Oh, you've upset my dog. Even the dog's walked out now, Harris.
Not Buddy. Not Buddy.
Yeah,
Anyone's a Buddy.
Our mascot's
Buddy,
gone.
kiss me.
I would be worried that it is Harris. So I sort of, I put him in that side bit. Okay, so we'll move on to credit collection.
Yeah.
So this is the credit collection. Grief Karga.
Cadbury chocolate.
Racist.
No, the chocolate bar above his head.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus, crikey.
You two really worry me sometimes.
Please
Really.
be consistent.
I get worried about you guys sometimes.
Yeah, well.
So basically, Grief Karga is obviously the, I guess you'd say reissue. None of these are new sculpts. These are just fancy new hats and paint jobs. So we're not going to spend too much time on them, but obviously you're getting basically Mandalorian. So you're getting Khalil, which I actually don't mind the color scheme. Even though he looks a bit like he's come out of somewhere that Tubbsy's been recently.
Looks like he's got an overturned Mr. Whippy van in his pants.
Where's Harris when I need him?
He's busy kissing Leia.
Yeah, I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. You got Moff Gideon as well, which again, I don't mind the color scheme too much, but yeah, I'm not a fan of this line. I never really have been. Armorer.
Yeah, and her credit in particular, to me, that just looks bland. It looks shit.
Yeah, it's a bit of a one.
Yeah.
Mando, which again I don't really mind too much, but again it's not, the credit collection to me is just a waste of money. So yeah, we got those as reissues, which these are either Amazon exclusives, and I think there's one that's a fan channel exclusive, which I think is Karga. Then we got another exclusive.
There's a Best Buy one as well that's an exclusive, one of those credit collection, and there's two that are Amazon, I think, from memory. I read somewhere.
Yeah, there's two that's Amazon. One might be Best Buy, and the other one's a fan channel, which means it'll be everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
So then, obviously, we went to the next exclusive, which is the Jet Trooper from Battlefront 2. Again, EB Games. I think in Australia will have it. EB Games in the US has it. GameStop has it. And the UK, because they don't have GameStop, it's gone to fan channel. So this one shouldn't be too hard to get. But yeah, this collection, I think we all agree that it's an EB exclusive thing, and it makes sense. But there's nothing new with it in a lot of ways.
It looks sad and depressed.
Gaming Greats one?
This is the Gaming Greats, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't see the sticker on it. I may have missed it, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's Gaming Greats. It's always Gaming Greats news.
Yeah, true.
It's Battlefront. There you go.
Yeah. Then we got the Force FX, which is Ray's lightsaber.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I like this. I really do, and I love the stand on it. I think they've done something really great there. But, I mean, it's not going to be for everyone. We all know how the fan base is divided.
How much do you think this is going to cost retail?
This will be $350, $400.
Yeah.
350, 400. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, but Galaxy's Edge, they actually released one of this probably about 15 months ago for about 240 USD with including shipping, right? So that's probably about the same price. What would you get? Hasbro versus Disney's Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the Galaxy's Edge one. So it's a bit of a unusual one. I actually like it better than this. But I'm also going to be realistic too. I don't expect this to be the greatest thing in the world either. So I know the Galaxy's Edge ones are like miles above the Black Series, and quite rightly so. The final one that we have is yet another reissue and a Target exclusive.
But this one's got a new hat.
Well, this one, what was it they said on the live stream? It's got a new, very technical paint job. So I'm not even going to go there with this one. The good thing is they've got the Mudhorn egg. That's actually brand new to the Black Series. It's been in the VC, but it hasn't come to the Black Series. And you can take the top off, and it's got like the little lava egg inside. So, but yeah, it's basically what we've already seen. So,
except for Grogu, Yoda's got his eyes closed in this one with his hand out. So
squeezing cheese.
Yeah, I squeeze.
That looks like
Yeah, I love it.
like a Chinese Grogu.
Squeeze me, please, Yoda.
Yeah. So I think where we'll end the Black Series is there was obviously some reveals for the pipeline for Archive next year.
Yeah.
So
the archive line was such a great idea, and their last few have just been last few choices have just been I think anyway, not the best choices. I wouldn't say crap, because Dengar's a great figure, so's Lando, they're all great figures. But I don't know, like the C-3PO that they're going to bring out as a New Hope one, which was an exclusive, right? Except you could get it on the 40th card. It was a Walmart exclusive in the US, and whenever I went to Hawaii, for 3 years running, it was the same Walmart that had like 30 of those C-3POs. They were just everywhere. They wouldn't discount them, but they were just everywhere. I don't know whether it was
it's
needed.
a bit of a strange one, this one, because two of these figures weren't widely circulated when they got released. One of them was around for quite a while and commands a pretty high price, and then the other one is C-3PO. So Dengar and Skiff Lando were basically undercirculated. So if you find one for a relatively good price in the red boxes, it was a deal. And Palpatine, as we all know, it quite literally can go from 0 to 100 easily, depending on the box. And I've seen some loose ones go for as high as $200, which is absolutely insane. But what's your thoughts on this, Harris? I know you're more of a 3.75, but we're getting there.
Yeah, no, look, I avoided the Black Series since it came out, way back 10 years ago. Just because I know that once I pop, I can't stop, right? So, not a big fan. I know that they are very good, like in terms of the paint jobs, the sculpt, and all that sort of stuff. Beautiful, but I think full stop, right? I think Hasbro just got to stop keep making the same thing and putting it into different cards. This goes same with 375.
But they're making a killing on it. Why would they change their business plan? They know they're going to buy it.
But it's not really serving the fan, are they?
No, not at all. But they're still rolling in the cash.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if you look at that, the Yavin one, right? The 50th, just because it says 50th, they expect the whole thing's going to sell. Well, of course it will.
Yeah, well, it's a new figure, though. the Yavin Leah.
Yeah, true.
We haven't had that in the 6-inch before.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's a new figure. That one definitely, I'll try and get that. Or I think Simon said that was coming out in the regular wave as well.
Yeah, Princess Leia or Yavin Leia will be coming out later on. So all of these exclusives that you're sort of seeing have either sort of come out or in the process of coming out or will probably come out. So that's always been the good thing with the Black Series exclusives in particular. And you're starting to see that with VC as well. When we get there, you'll understand that particular one.
Simon, sorry, Simon. I was going to say that that Jet Trooper one, the 6-inch, that Jet Trooper in the 375, right? It's actually fairly pretty freaking expensive. I bought mine loose with that jetpack. Actually, no, it came with jetpack, but without a gun. From France, I got it delivered from France for 80 USD.
Yeah.
Wait, by the way, look, what's your
God.
channel? My favorite YouTube channel is Star Wars Born Unleashed. Have you ever seen it, Leia?
Okay, so I'm not even going to touch that. I think we'll go with stupid equaling stupid with the next one we talk about. This is right up Harris's alley, actually. These are back.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So
it's all on the Boba Fett from pop culture. What's going on there?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, look, like I said before, shipping at the moment, you're guaranteed to see some of that stuff happening. So yeah, the retro troopers are obviously back, which I don't know what happened there. Obviously different colours, different schemes again. I hate these things with a passion, but I understand that there are a lot of people that like this sort of thing. It's not for me personally.
I don't understand the reason behind the colours. Is it for? I know it's prototype type things and stuff like that, but is there a reason behind the different colours? I can't remember. I know they explained it once before. I did order the Boba Fett one, but that's the only one.
Part of the way that they design them. So you have different colour schemes depending on how far off the thing is. So normally one of the first colours you'll use is like a red when it's a first run production sort of thing in a sample. And then it'll go through the different colours. But Hasbro's sort of taken it a different way. I reckon the best way that you could probably describe this is Hasbro trying to do a Funko. So Funko obviously has all the flocked pops, the glow-in-the-dark pops, all the different colours. This is just Hasbro's response to that.
Simon, somebody actually commented, a few minutes ago, Hasbro is taking a piss, right? Now, I think this is taking a piss because, Darth Vader prototype, it came out, 2.5 years or 3 years ago? Obviously, they saw that there's such a huge demand. Then they brought out Boba Fett, which is only a couple of months ago, right? Now they're putting this as a pre-order on Target. It went in a matter of an hour, and then how many of these are they going to keep releasing? Are they going to release the whole first 12? Do you think? It's going to be quite interesting to see where they're going with this line. My friend has already put a pre-order for me on this.
I knew that was coming. Knew that was coming. Even Troy knew that was coming. He says taking the piss, not a piss. So going back over a few of the comments, because we'll go into vintage collection in a second. Edward says not going to bother buying credit collection ones at all, or the carbonized, just sticking with the main line, which I think a lot of people are doing. But he's also agrees with me. I hate the prototype coloured ones, not going to waste my money on them, each to his or his own. And don't get me wrong, they wouldn't be bringing out another set of these unless it was actually popular. To me, it's just cheap money for Hasbro to make. They don't have to do anything major there. And Danny Mitrovic, who has tuned in just in time for the vintage collection. And no, Harris, I'm not putting you on the big screen. I can see the figure.
No.
Yeah, not even going to touch that one. So yeah, it's a bit of a weird thing. This range, I'm not a fan of it in the slightest, but it is something different, I guess.
I'm not interested in them at all, right? Although,
unless they do a Chewbacca.
Yeah, okay, yes. And I'll put my hand up. I'll be a hypocrite. I'd buy 8 different color variations of Chewbacca, right, if they brought them out. Do you think, though, they would look better if they were all one color? I understand where they come from with all the what's previously been done, but could you imagine just a blue Stormtrooper or a complete red Stormtrooper or something like that? Would that be a little bit more appealing or not?
The thing is, like, I think you would probably see what happens with a lot of the other releases where everyone will want the red or the purple and then the yellow will just sit on the pegs.
Okay.
I could sort of see it from that point of view. I understand the concept of what they're trying to do, but I think there's better ways of doing it.
Sorry,
people starting to do.
How many people do you think are going to buy however many, figures it takes to physically break them all apart and make a blue figure, a complete blue figure or whatever? Do you think that's something that we're going to see as well from the custom point of view?
No, we didn't really see with Vader. Like, I haven't seen many people take it out of the packaging. Mm-hmm. And even Boba Fett, it's been left in the packaging a lot more than not. There's always one or two weirdos that will go and spend $500 on a fucking thing and then, we'll open it out of the packaging and then realise, oh shit, it's worth nothing now. But
yeah, is it ever going to be worth anything though? These ones, I mean.
It's such a hard question to answer because they're so new. And I think you have to look at Pops as an example of, like, when you have, like, the convention exclusive, but then you have the one you get from Star Wars conventions, for example.
I understand that.
One goes up a lot higher than the other.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's a variant. But these things, like, I mean, who's going to say I've got the Stormtrooper variant with the red body and the head and the yellow arm and the green leg and whatever? Like, that's nothing that, I don't know. I wouldn't be gloating that I've got those in my collection.
So, this thing's now, the Darth Vader one is probably worth about 80 to 90 US nowadays. Just because when they launched Boba Fett, it's gone up again, right? Yeah. And then of course with Fett, there was, I think, 6 variants, a variation of colors. With the Darth Vader one, there was actually a lot more colors, just with the design of the card as well. But with the Boba Fett one, I had one of my mates. He's actually living in Colorado. He went to basically 12 targets trying to search the blue head because he couldn't find the blue head. Right, because he's got the rest of it, but he doesn't have the blue head. So yeah, and he couldn't find it, so he ended up buying from just another collector, selling it to him, and all that sort of stuff. To your question, Ian, were they worth a bit later on? Sure, I think it will. Right? Yeah. I don't think it's gonna skyrocket. Like maybe it's just. I reckon my prediction is that they're probably gonna release the first 12 based on this. Right, the first 12 figures on this star cards. Next one apparently is Chewbacca. Ian.
See, I tend to go the other way with that. I have a feeling it's going to stay in like the droids and the troopers sort of market. I just have a feeling that's where they're going to leave it because you've now had Darth Vader, you've had Boba Fett, and you've had Stormtrooper with the latest one, and they're all basically in disguises and costumes. And when you look at it, you've got Death Troopers, Shore Troopers, Clone Troopers. Yeah, so you've got a massive field that you can play with there. You've got R2-D2, C-3PO, any of the droids. So you do have a lot to workshop there. It's a line I don't think is going to be around forever, if I'm really honest, because, I mean, I think retro has a market, and I know Troy collects retro, which he just made a comment about it. But yeah, it's strange, and even Danny says guys in the States are going crazy over these coloured retro figures. People are collecting all the variants. And I think that's a good thing because there's only 8 variants, I think, of these. So
is it more because of they've actually changed the colour of the weapons as well now? So
with Vader, yes, because the lightsaber, the tip was different colors and all that sort of stuff. But this one's only 8. The Boba Fett ones. The Stormtrooper one, I actually didn't see if there was a weapon.
Yeah, Stormtroopers got multicolored weapons.
Okay,
yeah.
there you go.
So
yeah, that'll
is it only 8 variants, or is there more?
I'd say there's more.
Yeah,
until you actually see them come out, and because a lot can change between when they announce it and when it actually hits the shelves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really weird category, that one. So I guess that brings us to vintage collection. So vintage collection, we saw a lot of these have been rumoured for a while, but now there's sort of a lot more confirmed. So obviously we have Bib Fortuna joining the collection finally, which I've got to say I'm actually quite impressed. The detail on him looks extraordinarily good, and he seems to have a great deal of posability. And it's one that I think a lot of people have wanted in the line for a long time. So, hopefully that'll quieten people down, but I doubt it. You had IG-11 as well, which we knew was coming and was tied into HasLab's Razor Crest anyway, which was supposed to be coming out. And IG-11 was one of those that was teased pretty early on. I've got to say, he looks quite good. So now that we've got an IG-11, I think IG-88 won't be that far away. You've got Lando from Empire Strikes Back. So he's obviously, I think he's popped up about 3 times now because he was one of the last Walmart Black Series 3.75 exclusive figures too. Not as in this sort of detail though. You got Lobot to go along with him. Lobot I'm a little bit disappointed with, just because he looks a bit junky. You can see like a lot.
He looks like a junkie, or he looks junky.
He looks a bit of both. Like, I can't put my finger on it. When I saw it the other day, and I haven't had a proper look at the images until today.
You want to put... Just kidding, sorry.
Comes with a tourniquet for his arm, and
yeah, it's just they haven't done a really good job of hiding the articulation in him too much because you can see it all over him. Obviously, we've just had Papaloo in the 50th, but now we're getting a T-Bow to go along with him, which you can almost guarantee 90% of this sculpt is recycled. And then you had Palpatine. So obviously Palpatine is coming out in the PulseCon exclusive. So like I said, it's been repacked into the main line as well. Obviously it doesn't come with a stage or anything, but you do get his cane. You do get 2 lightning hands, so it means you can change his hands because he's already got 2. So he actually looks like a decent
he gets lightning hands, but when they do the archive wave in the 6-inch, then they won't give him the lightning hands.
Yeah, I don't know until we know more about the archive because they do make small little changes. It's never massive.
He's rumoured to have jazz hands when that comes out.
Oh, nice. Spirit fingers.
But he is VC200.
Yes, so that's where the 200 number, which we've gone backwards and forwards over and had a long conversation about, but he is VC200, which is quite a ironic choice, I guess you'd say, because he does look like he's 200 years old. But he is slightly different to the Pulse exclusive, but it is basically still the main figure sculpt, and soft goods and stuff will be basically in this as well. So that was basically the pipeline reveals for these guys. What did you guys think of these? Harris, I know you're a massive collector of these.
Of what?
Of What's the vintage collection? The 3.75.
Of gold to play with, Harris.
I am okay. So let me just reiterate that I am definitely a big fan of 375-inch, but I'm not a big fan of I don't have to collect all the vintage collection. So that's the point I'm trying to make. In terms of the figures, again, look, I don't know, like, would I buy any of this? Well, the ones that I've got placed on order already, thanks to Jeff Mullins, is the IG-88. 86. Sorry, no, IG-86. I was going to say IG-86 from Clone Wars, but then IG-11. IG-11 is one that I have placed as a pre-order. Would I order the rest of this? No, I wouldn't, because you know why? Because I've already got Tibo in vintage. I've got Emperor in vintage. I've got Lando in vintage, and I don't need another one.
Yeah, but this Emperor's got the cranky face. He's got the clean. What?
I don't need to buy Emperor to look at the cranky face. I just have to just get on these talks and see it.
Oh, cool.
I thought you went to the HR meeting where we said, do not give Harris and Simon opportunities or lines open because we will take advantage.
Thank you, face. No problem at all. Hey, Simon, can I have a little bit of screen time for a moment, please?
I know what's coming.
You dropped something out the front there. Thank you, Simon.
That was my bad. I apologise. So a few more guys have joined us as well. Scott Buchanan's joined us. Scott Bailey's joined us as well. David Cowley's joined us. So good evening, gents. Edward says Bib is an excellent looking figure, and Lobot and the Emperor, which I'd expect from Ed. But he also says his head sculpt is great though, for Lobot.
Actually, really Emperor Palpatine's hood looks awesome. It probably will never come like that, but it looks great in that picture.
Yeah, this is where, like, I will say a few things. So I know there's photos going around that's showing differences between different figures. Just wait till they actually show up before you think it one way or the other about them, because they are different than these shots.
So I think we've been, a lot of us, yes, The Rise of Skywalker, which is not a big fan, that a lot of people not a big fan of the sequel, but Palpatine, right? Rise of Skywalker, he looks great. Why couldn't sometimes I wonder, why can't Hasbro create a new figure as opposed to reinvent the vintage?
Yeah,
again, I just don't get it.
I think when you look at it though, like you do have IG-11, which is slightly different than IG-88. Whether or not
it's got two bandoliers.
Yeah, whether or not there are a lot of massive changes to it's a totally different thing. But I think you have hit on something there. But the next thing that we're sort of going to talk about sort of clouds that issue a bit, because who here could honestly say that they weren't excited by that?
Oh, yeah.
What? Yeah,
the full pack.
Yeah. Hey, what did I say the other week? Remember, they listened to me. I said that we need that. Well, actually, I think I said a 20 pack or something like that, or a 10 pack.
So,
in the 6-inch.
So obviously you get the 4-pack Stormtroopers, which come with a couple of different guns as well, which I only pulled the one photo down for each one of these. But this is the one thing I was actually excited about, because I do like to build Stormtroopers. Now I've got no real excuse to say that I can't do it, except if they don't have supply, which is possible because this is a Shop Disney and Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Would have made a lot more sense if it went to Fan Channel, which means EE and everything would have picked it up. And
yeah, but don't be silly when you say that something that we've always wanted and army builders have always wanted. Let's make it an exclusive. That's just dumb, but they're consistent.
That's what I was going to say, Tubbsy. You know, would an army builder, right, would want to crack open this pack? They wouldn't.
Yeah, and this is why I'm actually kind of intrigued to see what the actual packaging on the inside looks like, because I don't think you have them on cards. They would have to be like in a foam packaging or something like that, or a plastic shell packaging. So it's not something you'd really display. But I mean, I'm excited for it because this opens a door too. So obviously, like you want Endor, you want Hoth, you want all of those sort of troopers, and I think this might be the door. And I think it's $42 USD for these, which isn't too bad considering the price of the vintage collection's gone up to, I think it's $14.99 or something now in the States. So it's not actually a bad deal. Unusual, but you're not paying for the card back at least. Of course, then we get on to everyone's favourite. So obviously we've already done this once, but now we've got Carbonized Incinerator Trooper. So again, another reissue in this range, which I actually do kind of like it, but yeah, it's a bit finicky for me. I'm not a huge fan of it.
What have they done here? Is it like a pearl white paint? Is that what they've done?
It's metallic.
Okay.
So it's like a metallic sort of paint. It's very similar to what the Credit Line collection is for the Black Series. Very similar. But they've actually done the armor and left him in his original sort of thing. So he's just got like it's like a metallic black glitter sort of paint sort of thing. Which, yeah. But this is the interesting one. How many people would kill their freaking family to get this figure? Just a normal release.
Nah.
You say that.
I've got a few of the ones that came in the box, the original Black Series ones. As
So
in
this-
the 3.75. Sorry.
This is obviously this figure's had a story. So as Ben mentioned, it was the Black Series 3.75. One of the final waves of it had this figure in it. This figure then got repacked into the VC card for VC Wave 2 when it came back. So after the Snoke First Order wave that sort of clogged, there was a second wave. This guy, the Death Trooper, Cassian, Jin, Range Trooper, Enfys Nest. I'm trying to remember every one of them. So that came in waves 2 and 3. But this figure has been so sought over. People have wanted boxes of this figure. Hasbro cancelled boxes of this figure. Now all of a sudden, bang, we've got it in carbonized. But we still don't have a reissue of the original figure that everyone is chasing.
Because that's what people want.
Yeah, and it's such a weird. Like, don't get me wrong, the figure actually looks really impressive, and I actually do really like it. But it is such a stupid way to do this, because at the end of the day, all you're doing now is upsetting your core people, and a lot of people are complaining about this figure coming out in the carbonized collection before they get a reissue of it in the normal line. So, yeah. The last one, which is no real surprise, is the Armourer. So, obviously she looks dressed up to go on Oxford Street, in all honesty.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Everyone's got to make a living.
That's right. $20 is $20.
Not even going there. But yeah, obviously this one makes a little bit more sense. But the Shore Trooper, I think we saw it in Mandalorian season 2, but it was there for maybe one episode and that was it. But all of a sudden it's repacked. So this is a really strange choice from Hasbro. So I know David just said I will be after this figure, Short Trooper, only because I have the other carbonized 3.75, and there will be quite a few people like that. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of this one.
I didn't like the first two that they brought out. The Storm, was it the Storm Trooper? No, the Death Trooper and the Remnant Trooper. And that Remnant Trooper just looked like crap. It was such a dodgy paint job.
Yeah, And that's the interesting thing, and it comes back to that as well. The Remnant Trooper, everyone has been chasing, and there was full boxes coming, and they got cancelled, and then all of a sudden we get it in the carbonized collection, and people were picking up for like $10 from Big W towards the end because there was just that many on the shelves that they marked them down so dramatically.
I still didn't buy it at $10.
No, I mean, I've got a couple, and don't get me wrong, the card back's really nice, but it's not something.
Yeah, I'll admit, you're 100% right there. The card back looks beautiful, but I don't know. I didn't like the look of the Remnant Trooper. It just didn't.
And the card back on these is a shitload better than the Black Series ones. Black Series ones are absolutely horrific, but these ones were perfectly fine, except for some of them where the pressing down to stick the actual bubble to the thing occasionally comes out the back. But yeah, it's a small thing in the grand scheme of things.
Simon,
yeah.
do you mind if I have screen time, please?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can see Commander Pyre.
Right. Can you imagine if this guy was in the, what is it? That shiny paint job stuff?
Pornhub.
The carbonized.
The carbonized. Can you imagine if this guy or C3PO in a carbonized? That would have looked awesome.
I'd like to see C3PO in the carbonized.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? These two are probably the only two that deserve to be in the carbonized. Don't try to make everything carbonized and make it special edition. You know what I'm saying? Anyway.
Hang on, no. Say it properly. How's it go?
Yeah, mate, how you going? All right.
What about the kiss?
So, the last one to sort of go over is obviously the pipeline reveals, which we didn't get much for Black Series, which is just archive, but you do have Hasbro PulseCon next month where we're going to see a lot of this. So you got Empire Strikes Back Yoda coming. You've got the 501st Clone Trooper, which I know is one of the biggest ones that a lot of people in the vintage collection want again. You've got the Mandalorian Death Watch Airborne Trooper. And then you have a Cantina band member. So what are your thoughts on these guys? Because these are predominantly or primarily new, with the exception of probably the last two. Obviously, we've never had an Airborne Trooper and Mandalorian Death Watch, but we have had 501st Troopers before. We have had Empire Strikes Back Yoda before, and we have had Figrin Dan in a way before, back in the early days of the 2000s with the Saga and Legacy collections. Yeah, what are your thoughts, Harris? These figures you're going to pick up, or
Sorry, what was that?
He just wants to get all four of them and go gizzy.
Yeah, look, out of this four, obviously, again, Yoda, I have him in a vintage, real vintage. Is that Friggin or Figurin?
Friggin Dan.
Friggin' Dan.
Friggin' Dan. There you go. Anyway, so Friggin' Dan is I've already got him in the 4-pack.
Friggin' Dan. It's like it's Phil.
Ian, I know you don't collect a lot of these, but what are your thoughts?
Look, Yoda, yeah, for me, yeah. 501st, yeah, nah. The Airborne Trooper, I don't mind the jetpack thing. It looks pretty cool. And I don't know, Ringo Starr or whoever that is, Figurin' Dan, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, nah, thanks. Yeah, pass.
Well, it's interesting because I now think that we're going to see that Navarro playset next year. So that's supposed to be Cantina's scene. So he seems to be aimed at that particular market. Ben, what about you?
Look, out of all the vintage collection, I'm very, very picky with the vintage collection. have recently put aside a lot of the figures that I have collected over the last couple of years to get rid of because I'm just running out of space. Depending on the scope, depending on what Yoda actually looks like, I will get Yoda. I wouldn't mind getting the 501st Trooper. I think that will look good anyway. I'm a big fan of the Phase 2 clones. Mandalorian Death Watch is 100%. That is a must for me. I'm a massive fan of the Mandalorian Death Watch, and my favourite figure in any of the 3.75s is, apart from obviously the original vintage, is Pre Vizsla. So I would love to get that one. And to be honest, it looks like his helmet does have the Pre Vizsla mark. So I'm hoping that is a re-release of a Pre Vizsla, or if not, get a few of them and make one myself. And friggin' Dan, yeah, I reckon I'm going to get a couple of those because he goes all right. Good old friggin' Dan. I've got the original mail away, and it just goes to show. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, I've got that.
We did meet what? Yeah, I got the mail away baggy one. He's in a box somewhere. I don't know where, but with friggin' Dan, we mentioned this in one of the episodes once before. Is there's so many characters that have just all of a sudden got names. Like, I didn't know it was called friggin' Dan until this was released. I just thought it was Alien Head that played the flute. But there's, like originally we had Prune Face. He's got a name now. We've got Bum Face. He's got a name. We've got bloody Squid Face. He's got a name. It's just, I didn't know he was called friggin' Dan. I'm going to get two of them just because of his name.
But I think that there's an interesting point there too when you think about it. A lot of things have actually got names now, which didn't originally. So like Slave One, for example, didn't have a name for a long time, and then someone pulled that out of the thing, but it was always known as Boba Fett's Starship for a long time. So it's quite a weird sort of thing when you think about it. And it's not just in Star Wars, it's in Marvel as well, where there's a lot of background characters that, like Jenny at the diner in Avengers when, Captain America saves her life. She didn't have a name until the end of the movie, and then all of a sudden she had a name badge on. It's just interesting.
There is one comment that I can't see, but it says, so what's the other three members named when there was four in the band? He's correct. I reckon it's friggin' Dave, friggin' Jeff, and friggin' Jono.
That's it. all named by their wives.
I was going to say Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Simon, can I have a bit of screen time, please?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
No, that's right. He's got a box in his hand this time. I can see it. He's got the
I've got the 5
Why?
So I've got the mail away one as well, Tubbsy. But then I decided to get this because there's actually a 5 in the band. And according to the box, the name is Friggin' Dan or Friggin' Dan, whatever, and the modal nodes. Whatever the fuck that was.
What?
But
and the model nodes.
Modal nodes. So the modal, as in MODAL, nodes, as in NODES. So I'm guessing that friggin' Dan is the guy that plays the fucking, long thing, whatever.
What the hell is that?
What do you
And
do that again? What does he do? What does he do? This is tasting the salt.
I apologize to the kids watching this.
So there you go.
Pretend that you're seeing the salt in your mouth. Taste the salt.
All right, let's go back into enough screen time for myself.
More than enough.
I thought I'd have a quick look while Harris was doing his thing. So I went and actually had a Google to see what the other band names are. So half of these I can't even say. But there you go. These are the band members apparently.
We're still on Harris.
All I can see is Harris. I can see their backup drummer. That's it.
So there we go. So I'm doing 3 different screens.
I can
But
see
apparently, this is the legend side of it. Apparently, there is 5 members at any one time, but sometimes as many as 7. So, Figure and Dan seems to be the only one that sort of goes through. But yeah, they've all got names apparently.
They're just making that shit up.
There you go.
Well, I don't know where. Yeah, quite literally, this is just a legend thing. But when you actually go to the canon thing, which is where a lot of these figures will basically be classed, there's no mention of them. It just tells you which episodes are in, which, yeah. But I imagine because they do show up in Galaxy's Edge and Disneyland, I would hazard a guess that they'd probably have another name by now. So just your general thoughts about the live stream the other night, guys. Ben?
I only watched a little bit of it, to be honest. I haven't been really keeping up a lot lately with the news in the last couple of weeks. Sorry, I've just had far too much on in personal life. So, yeah, I've been sort of catching up with you guys and talking to Simon and stuff and finding out what's going on. But to be honest, this week, the last 2 weeks, I haven't really kept up.
Ian, because I know you watched most of it. I did. I watched the whole lot. I didn't watch it live. I'm glad I didn't, set the alarm or open a third bottle and stay up or whatever. Overall, I was disappointed. It was really anti-climax for me. It is what it is. They'll come out. People will buy them. We've gone through this before. Doesn't matter what they bring out. They'll sell. There's no doubt about that.
And Harris?
I tell
That's
you...
enough, thanks, Harris. Appreciate your input, buddy.
That was easy. Let's move
on. So actually, the one thing that I haven't updated you guys is the number. Last week, I think it was 100, right?
Oh, yeah, 100 left. 100 for all those viewers just tuning in.
Yep. So the up-to-date number is 71.
Nice.
So I spent shitloads of fucking cash.
Language. Jesus.
Actually, look, we got to give Harris some credit here because we're now just over an hour into the show, and he actually hasn't mentioned the Star Wars Vault Unleashed once.
Yeah, because we told him he owes us $10 each every time he does.
Oh, so you missed it, Simon?
No.
Yeah. So anyway, it was some number.
Latest episode, mate. In all honesty, the latest episode. I haven't watched it all yet. I got to about 13 seconds before I had to go to the toilet. And
anyway, so
that's 13 seconds more than me. Anyway.
So I spent. No, I didn't wake up. I didn't throw an alarm to watch the live stream, Simon. But I have been putting on alarms to wake up in the middle of the night just to bid on eBay, US, just to keep up with the numbers.
Yeah, I know. It's like we had Are You OK Day last week, and I said no because I saw the credit card bill. So eBay's been very dangerous in lockdown. So my question to each of you, and I'll start with Ian first, is out of everything that you just saw, is there anything in there that you actually would have put money down for if it had been available like now?
The layer, probably the 50th anniversary. Yeah, as I said, I like the card. I like the throwback to the original. I don't know. I've got the I've got my custom version there. I got rid of Luke. I put Chewie in there instead.
Yeah, but Chewie hasn't got a medal.
Yeah, whatever. He's about to get one.
Well, after all these years, Chewie still hasn't got a medal.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, you know what? My wife's got a medal. Chewie has.
She has more than a bloody medal and all that.
And thanks to I'm not sure if Troy's still on here, but thank you to Troy Brooke because after his comment on my wife's birthday that she deserves a medal for putting up with my shit. On her birthday, I made her the Medal of Yavin, so she has the Medal of Yavin now for putting up with my shit. Thank you, Terry.
One of those ones.
Thank you, Troy. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
One of them.
Just while you're giving out a shout out, Tubbsy, I just want to say thanks to Danny as well for helping me to, with the numbers through his auctions.
Danny's auctions have been really good lately. I missed the second one because I had some other stuff on, but his first one I was definitely in there. And Jeff Mullins as well.
Jeff's good.
I actually was tending to. So
Danny, yours was good too, but I did miss your second one. Sorry, I had a few things on. But yeah, Jeff's was good. I bought a couple of things. It was good.
Yeah. Harris, anything there? You would have gone money down and bought it straight away if it had been out today?
Yeah, look, I think it's pretty obvious that I will only buy the ones that I don't have, and first ever released. So I'm talking about the Death Watch, the Mandalorian Death Watch, the IG-11. IG-11 is already on pre-order anyway through Jeff.
IG-86.
Hey, you know that 86 is anyway.
Agent 86.
Mr. Clay, not much.
Anyway, you know which one I'm talking about. But I'm not going to get another friggin' Dan because I only got 5 of them.
You need another friggin' Dan.
12 months later, what did you buy today, Harris? Oh, I had to buy the friggin' Dan because he's missing out on my collection. Ben, what about you? Anything there? That
actually, you know what, Simon? I'm so sorry.
I think he said Ben.
Because you know what? Because on the Wikipedia, the page that you showed before, there's got 7 friggin' Dans, right? So I've got 5, and I got 6 from the mail away, which means that I'm missing one, so I might have to buy one of him.
Told you.
That's the backup singer that did drugs, and he was like kicked out of the band. It's okay. He's got a Netflix, series. You can watch it all.
Basically, Harris's life in a single moment.
All right.
Thanks
very much. Okay, back to you, Simon.
You need another one so you can put him out the back of the cantina in the drain, right, in the gutter, hanging out with Lobot because he looks a bit, what was it, junky?
Yeah, but Lobot's got the money for it. You should know that.
Yeah, true.
Being assistant to an administrator.
There's a couple of things I'd like. I definitely would like the 501st. I would definitely 100% be getting the Mandalorian Death Watch. Really like that Leia. I'm not a massive fan of the head sculpt, so hopefully it changes a little bit. Big fan of the card, so I will try my best to get that one on the card and leave it on the card. But when they bring out the original box, the box type, I'll get one in the box as well. The only thing, and this isn't on the agenda, and I'm sorry, Simon, to hijack here, but just one thing I would like to discuss is everything is packaged in 50th anniversary, right? It's not 50th anniversary of Star Wars. It's 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. And it's only actually what's that bloody 44 years of Star Wars anniversary. I'd like to see, if it's the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm, I'd like to see a couple of other different figures from his other movies. Not just pumping the crap out of Force Awakens, dickhead, Power of the Force, and other Star Wars stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, I like it, but we've got 50th anniversary Qui-Gon Jinn. It's only 21 years since Qui-Gon Jinn came out in Phantom Menace. But there's a few things that I'd like to see, and I've brought this up before in different episodes. Is last month, so now being September, last month was 40th anniversary of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Where's the figures? where's the notoriety that it's 40 years since an iconic film series was brought out? Where's the, even if it was just one figure, one Indiana Jones figure, where is it? I mean, yes, I'm a bit biased because I do like Indiana Jones, but I'm sure that a hell of a lot of people have enjoyed Indiana Jones over the years, and I'm pretty sure that the figures would sell. There's no 3.75-inch figures. There's no 6-inch figures. There's no nothing. And last year marked 40 years since the first movie came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but I mean, I also do sort of get it from Lucasfilm's point of view, because at the end of the day, like, you wouldn't have Indiana Jones without Star Wars, but you wouldn't have Star Wars without having Star Trek in the mix as well. So, okay,
Wash your mouth out. Your dirty mouth. Wash it out. You don't have to talk.
But my understanding...
Where's that in a 6-inch figure? Why don't we have a Lucas Stormtrooper disguise 6-inch figure?
Yeah,
exactly. 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. They should release all things. If it's Star Wars,
there's no American graffiti figures. There's no nothing. Everything is 50th anniversary, and it to me it seems a little deceiving of 50th anniversary of Star Wars. It's not the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. It's the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. Where's the Willow shit?
To give them some credit, which one's going to sell more? So it's a business decision in a lot of ways.
But why can't they make it exclusive?
They'd make everything else to do with Star Wars exclusive. But where's the stuff from Willow? Where's the stuff from any of his other movies?
American Graffiti.
Yeah, it's like I've asked around a few different people that I know do licensing and stuff like that. And I do know that there are some issues with some of the older licenses from Lucasfilm where they've belonged to manufacturers that either won't be willing to do anything, or they can't get the license back, or in some cases the license doesn't want to be picked up by anyone. My understanding is Indiana Jones is still with Hasbro.
Yeah, so
that's my understanding.
I'll be back in 2 seconds. Hang on.
But I also think too, when you look at it, there is no Indiana Jones movies, TV shows, or anything like that to drive that new generation of fans in. But I also think they sort of closed the door on a lot of this stuff too, without really.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a missed market, but I mean, when you look at it too, they are struggling to get shit on the shelves just normally now. That's the biggest problem. And I mean, you'd be looking at a price increase. So the next wave of Ghostbusters is going up from $22.99 to $24.99 in the States now. So it's actually going to be the most expensive action figure range that Hasbro actually markets at that price point, because Star Wars is at $22.9 now. So it's a bit of a strange one, but I do know there has been merchandise. So I know Shop Disney had T-shirts and stuff like that, which they didn't have for Star Wars. So I mean, there is stuff out there. You've just got to look really hard, unfortunately for a lot of it. So before we move on to the last sort of Hasbro reveals, basically Edward agrees with Ben. Loves where you're going with it, that sort of thing. Danny, where are we? Yeah, you're welcome, Danny. We support anyone who's got a good auction. So we're more than happy to come and attend. We leave politics aside, but we're always happy to attend those sort of things. Danny also says American Graffiti cars would have been awesome. That's true. I would have actually liked to have seen some of them.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones 5 comes out next year, Edward.
That'll be the 41st anniversary of Indiana Jones. So let's put the figures then.
I haven't heard any licensing or anything like that for figures or anything, so I'll be interested to see what happens there. But David goes, one of the best books I have read is Star Wars Year by Year. It's about a visual chronicle, and this book is awesome. They could have used many things out of that book to celebrate 50 years of Lucasfilm. That's true. But I think the market's changed a lot too. So now you're not seeing as many commemorative sort of books and that coming out, unless it's a Mandalorian, in which case you get season 1 book, then you get season 2 book. Yeah, that's a whole other rare area. So to close out Hasbro's reveals the last week or so, we had a very strange crossover.
What?
Dracula Transformers. So it's a Transformer Dracula.
Really? Dracula?
That's
Oh,
that looks like the real friggin' Dan.
I don't know what to say here. So even though it's got Takara Tomy on it, it is actually Hasbro. So yeah, this is another crossover. So obviously they did Jurassic Park, which hasn't come out yet, which I have pre-ordered, which is the Ford Explorer and the Tyrannosaurus. Yeah. So
hang on, what does that transform into? A bat?
It turns into that. You can take the cape off.
He says in a Transylvanian voice, "I want to transform."
I mean, the box looks cool. It's just, the actual toy is going to give people nightmares.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I know there's a fair bit of backlash in the community about it too, but
Well, that looks cool.
That's
the other
cool.
one that's dropped as well is Symbiote Spider-Man. So obviously Marvel has their live stream later on tonight, actually, in a couple of hours.
That one looks cool. I like the matte black finish. That's quite nice.
Yeah, he looks like a really good figure. Obviously, Spider-Man and Marvel Legends are quite a repetitive line. He's almost just as bad as Iron Man in that line, but move on.
Yeah, but they've done some really dodgy sculpts. Like they did that weird-ass bloody Dame Edna Everidge Spider-Man symbiote ones, where they did the red and the black with the really weird eyes and the... Yeah, I don't know. I really like that one, and that's the first.
Well, this is clearly tied into what they're probably going to announce, which is probably another fucking Venom, to be honest with you. But yeah, so this is the last of the Hasbro reveals that came out over the last couple of days. Yeah, so obviously Hasbro is taking full advantage of the thing, and we've still got Hasbro PulseCon to come. Which is probably the scary thing because I think a lot of our wallets will hurt. Razor Crest is obviously the Star Wars Labs Lab project that was spoken about, but obviously Rancor's coming. Rancor, there is now a growing rumour that Rancor will go up for pre-order the last week of September and will run until the end of PulseCon. So there is a bit of history here. So obviously we've just had Galactus. So basically Galactus was up. Before Galactus was even down, they actually had the next Transformers project up on the same day. So it seems to be a continuous overlap. So that's something to keep an eye out for. My gut feeling is that Zing will have it as well. And my gut feeling is there's going to be a lot of people whinging about pricing.
Well, so the Transformers one, I didn't even hear what the Transformers one was, but
Victory Saber, which I have been told is not a really big thing. So yeah, I'm not big on Transformers. Everyone knows that. Now we actually had
what do you call them, Simon? What do they call? What do you call them?
I call them Star Wars.
No, what do you call them again?
I
call them pointless.
Can I talk about Transformers? Can I just say that? Do you remember when they first released Transformers back in? Is it late 70s, early 80s?
Early 80s.
Early 80s, and then after that they released the movie.
Yeah.
I still got the DVD for that, right? I think
DVDs weren't invented then, buddy. You got it on Beta. You got it on Betamax.
Look, anyway. I can't talk because I've got
Ask friggin' Dan.
Movies on VHS.
Actually, yeah, but the Transformers the movie DVD, it was actually quite rare. So Tubbsy.
Actually, yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
It was rare as because it wasn't invented yet.
The one in the 80s.
Okay, so anyway,
You've got it on one of those big ass laser discs, haven't you? The big fucking gold thing.
so I'm actually a big fan of Transformers back then. However, you know, when they released the movie back in 2006, 2007?
Didn't watch it either then either.
Oh, the Michael Bay movies that no Transformers
Bay
fan
movie?
likes to talk about.
Oh yeah, those
that
ones.
one.
Yeah, that's right.
With what's her name?
Megan Fox.
Fox.
Megan Fox. I think they've done really well with that.
He's been doing this ever since.
That explains so much.
But until they released the second movie of that Transformers, right? The live action movie. And then they start having these robots doing raps and talking like people from the ghetto and all that sort of stuff. That's just wrong. You know, you got to keep it straight retro.
That's robotist.
It's such like now we've sort of gone there, but it is such a it's such a weird genre because you had the cartoons, you had the cartoon movie, then you've had the live action films. But the live action films, the first three Michael Bay, and then after that, the two that came out, which one of them was Bumblebee, which I actually quite liked. They're now rebooting the whole universe yet again, and it's about the third time in the space of 20 years they've rebooted it. They're starting to turn into fucking DC. So NECA came out with a reveal as well, which I think a few of you will be excited with.
I am so excited. I am so excited because I don't know who NECA is.
Matthew McConaughey.
You know,
So NECA came out with this guy, which I think a few of you will.
That's the roadies that organise your band for you. So friggin' Dan is a big fan of this guy. He carries in the speakers and everything else, all the cables and shit. It's all good.
Yeah, but it looks like Matthew McConaughey. So he gets to the gig and goes, "All right."
So
The
it actually gets funnier. I can't actually work out if this is Photoshop, but this is Matt Hooper from Jaws. Look at the head. The head just seems so out of proportion.
right? Yeah.
This is NECA, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, are they going to finally do it? Because NECA announced Jaws stuff like ages ago.
This is actually due out in March 22.
Wow. Okay, because I'm pretty sure that you and I, Simon, spoke about this like literally like 3 years ago when they first announced NECA Jaws stuff.
Yeah, I know we've had a few conversations about it, but this is the first one that I've actually seen locked in. It's actually up for pre-order with Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth at the moment. Yeah. And he's about $39.99 USD, so you'd be looking about probably 60 Australian.
And it comes with a tank. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the tank looks good.
So, yeah, besides the head sculpt, which sort of concerns me a little bit, it's nice to see NECA's sort of coming out with a few different things, and we're moving away from Ninja Turtles just a little bit.
Well, or bloody Jason from Friday the 13th. I reckon, yeah, they brought out more figures.
No, you just went quiet.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said NECA's brought out more Jasons from Friday the 13th than there was movies.
Yeah, they've always made their money from horror, so
yeah, all true.
It's never really been anything
they ever
else.
made I know they made a Leatherface, but have they ever made a Pinhead? I don't recall.
No, I know there's a few of those where they've had issues with licensing.
Okay.
So yeah, this is another example of just wait until the actual production model comes out to see what it actually looks like. Photos will never give you the primary thing.
Well, the Richard Rocket one. Well, is there a Roy Schroeder figure?
No idea. In all honesty, I'd have to look into it because I know there's a few figures they basically booted out of the mainstream. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Edward says it's not a bad head sculpt for Richard Dreyfuss, which, yeah, I sort of do, but it's just the proportion of the head to the body. Looks a bit funny. Emily Mary says hello. And Scott goes Hooper. I'm glad someone recognised it. So to close out sort of the news from last week, which this isn't even from last week, this is basically from yesterday and the day before. I know Darren would actually have a lot to say about this, but we had Mewtwo.
They look more horrid than the other Netflix ones that they brought out.
So the funny thing here is, and I'll see if I can find it because I stole this off the presentation. So there's been this rumor that Mewtwo and Mattel were going to part ways. So basically the first thing Mattel brings out is this. So this is actually quite an interesting panel.
Can you click on the blue dude? Is that Merman?
Yeah, Merman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that looks different.
Yeah.
Different to a nice figure.
Yeah, so these are the Mattel Universe sort of ones. So obviously you got the big air guys there. Mondo did a panel, however, as well.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say that's out of the new Revelations, the Triclop.
Yeah. So Mattel's doing a bit of the old and a bit of the new. But Mondo's actually coming out with a bunch of stuff as well, which looks really well sculpted. A lot of it's, as you can see with the Battle Cat, a lot of it is actually, they've done the model. They haven't done any paint jobs or anything. So these are production samples, basically, that they've taken along.
Yeah.
But these are 1/6 scale figures.
Oh, She-Ra. Jesus. Okay.
So
Double 1/6, are they? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they're actually putting a fair bit of
power
behind it, which is nice to see Mewtwo make a recovery in this fashion.
I'm not a fan of that Skeletor. I've always liked Skeletor as I don't like that Netflix version of Skeletor. I don't like his face. Well, sorry, his skull.
Yeah. So it was actually a pretty big thing. It's called PowerCon. So yeah, it was actually a bit of a weird one there. So yeah, that was Mewtwo, which came along. I know that there's been some Mythic Legions, or Cosmic Legions, I should say, that sort of dropped as well, but I didn't really want to go down that rabbit hole too much.
I saw the reveals on those, and look, I like Mythic Legions. They're very, very good figures, and very good sculpts. But Jesus, Jones, they're expensive. I saw the what are they called, Cosmic Legions, and
yeah,
it didn't grab me. They just were like, yeah.
Yeah, like I had a look at them because someone sent them to me to ask me for my opinion on it, and I'll see if I can bring it up. Good thing, so I raised the subject.
Sorry, I know that you did.
No, I raised it. So this was Cosmic Legion. So
I don't know. They didn't grab me.
Didn't grab me at all. If I'm completely honest, I'm not a huge particular fan of them. I mean, I do like the fact that they do the hand packs and all the weapons packs and stuff like that, but just, yeah, it's not my alley, unfortunately.
No, and to be honest, like I said, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry for butting in again, Simon, but there's a couple of the medieval style figures. I'm not a big fan of the orcs and all the other crap that they come along with, but I do like the knights figures. But again, the prices, I mean, they're great, don't get me wrong, but Jesus, Jones are expensive.
Yeah. If you got the money to spend it and you love the figures, then yeah, by all means, go nuts. But I've never been able to swing that way. I have a limit. And I like that sort of thing where they go out in there, but it's not my sort of thing. I like the Mythic Legions, the medieval stuff, because I've always liked that period of time, the Knights Templar and stuff like that. But yeah, the cosmic stuff's just too far out of the ballpark.
And this comment, please do not think that this is sexist in any way, shape, or form. But the only thing that I didn't understand is that in the Mythic Legions they did have female Knights Templars, which was not correct. Not historically accurate is probably the better word. It's just, when I first saw them, I was like, yeah, they look good, but they were warrior monks. They weren't warrior females. Anyway, they were toys. They weren't historically accurate toys. So.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Thanks for having us, Harris.
Something that I forgot to cover off.
We'll catch you all again next week. Thank you very much, Harris. See you later.
So, the reason why I've been away, my apologies, audience. My apologies, my fellow stakeholders.
He obviously got a phone call on his hotline.
No, well,
someone finally rang.
It was probably from India anyway, trying to sell him a phone plan.
8377. But I just want to show you something that was actually created. I just want to show you something that was actually created back in 1982. This thing is called a DVD. This is Transformers.
Was that created in 82?
Actually, just give me a second.
The movie 82 or DVD in general? All right, Simon, can you bring that up?
Yeah.
Can you Wikipedia that?
The movie came out in 82. The DVD did not come out in 82.
My apologies for those Transformers fans. I don't mean to
sound like a dickhead.
Offend you in any way, but 1987 was when this movie came out. Transformers the movie. However,
yeah, but when was DVDs invented?
This one here,
92, I think it was.
This one here is G.I. Joe the movie cartoon.
Right.
So if you guys are into G.I. Joe the movie, the cartoon came out in 87 as well.
Yeah.
And then since we were covering Motu, I don't know if you guys ever seen this. The Masters of the Universe with Dolph.
Of course I did. It's a classic. You wash your mouth.
I love it, man. Like, man, you know what? I remember got this from Amazon.com back in 2000, right? It was actually one of my first DVD. There you go, 1997 DVD. This one came out.
Yeah, well, technically DVDs went on the market in 1996. So yes, you are right. It can be from 1997.
So 1987. This movie came out. Motu, the movie, 1987. For those of you guys who were born after 1987, you're gonna get yourself. You're gonna go to Blockbuster or your local video store right now, and borrow it.
Harris, just so you know, this might get a bit awkward, but you don't still have shares in Blockbuster, do you?
I do.
You're
and video easy.
Video easy.
Good old Video Sleazy.
Actually, I've still got DVDs from Video Easy.
All right. So, Harris, there is only one movie that is better that involves the same actor. Then it's better than Motu, and that is the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie. Why? Because it was filmed in Sydney.
So Nathan says Jesus went.
Moving right along.
Must leave the house, Harris. Yeah, that's a good question. We don't actually know if Harris has left the house. He's either left the house in the car.
He can't leave the house, and that beanie is a balaclava. He's under house arrest, as he should be.
I'm still trying to work out how he actually watched something on DVD in 1987. You have a time machine that we don't know about.
Nathan, we went around to Harris's house and then used some of that police tape "Do Not Cross" at his front driveway, and he's been stuck there for ages.
It was only meant to be up for 14 days, but 14 years later, we only just remembered.
Oh well, no great loss.
Yeah, but seriously, like if for those of you guys who are actually born later on, do check out Motu the movie.
It is good.
Awesome. Flash Gordon is another one.
For those of you that weren't born in 1997, there's this thing called Netflix now. I believe it's on there.
But you know what? If you're trying to find this in Netflix, you won't be able to find it.
I was going to say, I don't think it's on Netflix, is it?
No, it's on one of the streaming services. I don't know which one it
I
is.
think it's on Amazon. I'm not sure, but I can't remember. I did see it.
Some of my all-time classics, of course, Star Wars, right? Motu, Flash Gordon, the Goonies.
Flash Gordon.
Love it.
Love it.
So yeah. Thanks very much.
Actually, just speaking of, I can't remember. It was on Disney Plus, I think. Two movies that I have not watched. Right now, my profession is automotive industry, and this has nothing to do with toys, right? So I do apologise, but it has to do with model cars. On the weekend I watched two movies that I have been out for a while and I've never bothered to watch, and it's Ford versus Ferrari. It was a fantastic movie with Carol Shelby, and Rush with Niki Lauda and James Hunt. Absolutely one of the awesome car movies. I love both of them. Watched them back to back, and they come up in my but you should watch this shit. And I was like, yeah, give it a crack. And I love both of them. And like I said, I have not watched either of them for years. I didn't even realise that Rush had come out in 2013 or something like that. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I watched Ford and Ferrari when it was in cinemas, and I've watched it a couple of times on streaming since then. So it's actually a really good film.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And Rush, I can't remember the last time I watched it, in all honesty. But I've seen it a few times.
Tubbsy, somebody mentioned Echo. That means the Echo on the voice, not the Clone Wars Echo.
Well, hang on, I don't have an echo. Sorry, I don't see who that was. Nathan, is that me echoing, or is that me echoing?
I can see comments, but I can't see who they
are. Yeah.
So something I forgot to bring up last episode was Mattel's HasLab.
My microphone.
So Mattel's HasLab equivalent got funded apparently.
What? They had like 14 backers 3 weeks ago. Now they've got 8,500.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I was actually quite surprised.
And they even unlocked Doink the Clown. What the? Is that shit?
He's the 7th band member of the Mos Eisley crew.
He's hanging out the back with Lobot and the
Friggin' Dan.
All I can think of is obviously Rod felt bad about Galactus being back, so obviously he went and backed this too. So yeah, this is a really interesting.
All Rod's fault.
Yeah, he bought 2 of them so he could put 1 foot of the Sentinel in each one.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't believe this actually got backed, but yeah, this is, and I believe they actually extended the project a little bit as well. So,
well, yeah, until they continually extended it until they got backed. They're like, oh, hey, we backed it.
Yeah, it's yeah. What can you say?
I'll get a ring and I'll put a couple of Chewies in there or whatever. Yeah.
You can get them now. You can get them for like $40 at Toymate.
Okay.
It's AEW wrestling. I think I've been looking at it a few times. So we're going to cover something that I know Ben doesn't really want to cover, but you sort of have to. Because it has.
And the rest of us do.
You sort of have to.
All right, not all. Thanks very much.
So, obviously Star Trek Day was last week.
What? Sorry?
So Star Trek Day was last week. It was all online. It's 55 years after the original TV series. Not a lot of toy announcements or anything.
He's still older than Star Trek. That's good. I like it.
So probably the first big thing, which I know Mick Van is a big fan of as well, is Picard. So to give you guys an idea, because I know you don't watch it, the way Star Wars has handled legacy characters, they could learn a lot off Star Trek. So Picard's obviously the legacy character, but they've actually built like a whole new cast around the legacy. and they've actually like enhanced the legacy. But you now have Q coming back for the Star Trek fans, sorry. And we're not going to be seeing this until next year anyway, because they've only just wrapped filming this week, I think. I guess February 2022. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's actually a really good watch. You had Prodigy.
Not watching that with anything else to do with Star Trek. Sorry.
You think it is? I got into it. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Well, I will admit, all right, I did originally watch the original, the original one with Leonard Nimoy and Captain Kirk.
The original series.
Yeah, the original one. I did watch not all of them, and I wasn't religiously watching it, but I did watch the original stuff. I didn't get into any of the other crap, the Deep Space Nine. I think I watched maybe one episode of Picard. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I'm not a fan. It's not Dr. Spock and Captain Kirk for me. But I did watch the new movies when they were released, except for the latest one, whatever that was called, Star Trek 3, 4, 500, whatever it was. But yeah, I didn't mind the reboot movies. They were pretty good, especially having Leonard Nimoy in one of them.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because one of the other shows that'll pop up here in a second actually has basically a recast of the original cast going through. So Prodigy's an animated series which goes back a little bit again. Lower Decks is I have seen a couple episodes of it, but it's like a little fun. It's sort of their version of Resistance, I guess you'd say.
Sorry, I just read one of the comments.
I'm sure you did.
What comments?
Yeah, Troy. You want my support for something? We'll see how that ends now. But this is one of the big ones that's come out. This is basically where they recast it. So this is Strange New Worlds. So basically you have basically the original cast, Spock and stuff like that, recast again. But the interesting thing is that the way that Star Trek has actually managed things, so where we had Luke Skywalker popping up at certain points and doing things, we sort of went differently this time. So I think you've got to look at it like this. There's a lot of lessons that Star Wars can probably learn from Star Trek, because Star Trek has been more successful on the small screen than Star Wars ever has outside of the movies. But it's also something you've got to look at how they deal with legacy and older characters coming into newer content. So where we had Luke Skywalker, for example, where they threw that in, or where you had Ahsoka and all of that sort of thing, for the most part, the last part of season 2 of The Mandalorian was quite literally like what it's just the Clone Wars all over again, and Bad Batch was exactly like the Clone Wars. Yeah, that's basically Star Trek Day. They had a lot of guests and stuff like that. But there's a lot of lessons that you could learn there. So yeah, basically,
there's one good spaceman, right, that I received this weekend from my good friend Robert Hower, and he's better than all of Star Trek put together, and that's Benny the Spaceman.
So, Harris,
moving right along.
Harris has wanted to discuss this for a couple of episodes, which is why I led into it.
Oh dear.
And that is obviously Star Wars Visions.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
So Harris has wanted to talk about this for a while, which I wanted to wait until we got a little bit closer. So this comes out on September 22 on Disney Plus. And basically this is something that I think a lot of people are going to get enjoyment out of. So this is the original trailer for it, which I think there's another trailer that's sort of come out now, but you can see the Japanese, or I guess you'd sort of say the Oriental theme, coming from sort of the lore of Star Wars, but getting re-envisioned in Japanese things. So, Harris, what are your thoughts?
Can I have screen time, please?
No.
Uh-oh.
No, just kidding. Can we just have at least Thank you. Thank you very much. Look, guys, I think this is one of the most exciting series that's that this is going to produce. The fact that Lucasfilm is actually working with some of the best animation companies from Japan, right? I think that shows the genuinity of what they're trying to achieve here.
We're going to turn Star Wars into matching hair fairies.
No, but
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I get it. Look, Star Wars animation is not something that is new, right? It's actually been produced in the past before. I mean, like, look at this this book here. This is a Return of the Jedi animation comics. Yes, somebody just commented, not a big fan of Japanese anime. I'm not a big fan of Japanese anime, but I actually grew up in the late 70s, early 80s, where there's
Early
a lot of
70s.
hey,
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
where there was a lot of there was a lot of like robots, right? The Japanese robots and animation, all that sort of stuff was a big thing back then. Then I stopped. Since then, I'm not into like the whole Pokemon, like the whole animation after that, like even Dragon Ball Z, all that sort of stuff. I was never into it. But given that this is Star Wars and this is animation, I think it's a great mix, in my point of view, in my opinion. Can you imagine, right? Can you imagine the when they create action figures for this?
Yeah,
That's what I'm excited about, right? They tried. If you look at Clone Wars, right, back then, who would have thought they're actually gonna look, let's go back for 35 years or 36 years ago when they first launched Droids, the cartoon series, or Ewoks, right? Back then, you're probably thinking, fuck, that's not Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right? Who would expect that Ewoks and droids, even the action figures, are now actually worth 10 times more than Star Wars vintage?
Yeah.
Right? And then, of course, they tried it again with Clone Wars, right? Back in 2003. And then that failed. Well, I wouldn't call it failed, but that's kind of like a test bed for the real Clone Wars, right? When it came out. And up until now, almost 20 years later, you've seen the success. And if you look at action figures, it's massive. They also tried again, like 4 years ago with Resistance, right? That kind of failed, but people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I've never watched any Resistance. Is that any good? Or is it just...
Just another cartoon.
Storyline is clearly aimed at kids. The animation is aimed at sort of teenagers, I guess you'd sort of say. But yeah, I'm a fan of Japanese anime. They have done a lot of really cool things. The good thing with this project, though, is that you're actually going to have a tie-in novel with it as well, which expands on it past these episodes. The other thing as well is the voice casts that are attached. So you obviously have it in Japanese, but you have just a couple names. Brian T, who you probably know from Chicago Med. Lucy Liu is involved. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's involved. Bobby Moynihan's involved. Tamara Morrison is involved as Boba Fett. Shelby Young's involved. Neil Patrick Harris is involved. So you have like a whole bunch of fairly well-known actors from the American side of things, but you also have an actual traditional Japanese cast as well of voice actors.
And can I just say as well, just to top that up, Simon, I understand. I don't mean this to be discriminated against, animation, speaking English, whatever, or dubbed, right? But I reckon if you watch it with Japanese language, with English subtitles, it's gonna come out better. Trust me. You can actually feel the animation or the anime impact of it.
Authenticity.
The authenticity, that's the word I'm looking for, you see. And do you guys remember back in the days when how when they teach you how to draw humans moving in the edge of the paper, and you go like that?
Flipbook,
Yeah. Anyway,
So I mean, Paris isn't alone. I've got the Lost Stars version. So this is originally the published as an American novel in 2015, but this is actually quite literally it's Japanese anime, and it's the conversion of that story. There's 3 different trade backs, which I've got 2 because the third one I haven't been able to buy yet. But you can get these from Kinokuniya quite easily, which is one of my favourite stores to walk through in Sydney, because it's basically like it's in your face. But some of the artwork that you can see in there, it's mind-blowing. And that's why I was actually really, really excited to see Visions come to fruition, because I thought, it's going to be a project they're going to kill. But it's the first one of their whole slate of projects that's going to come to air. And I'm really looking forward to it. I know Harris is definitely looking forward to it. But yeah, it's a genre that doesn't get a lot of credit for what Star Wars is now. And it's something that hopefully means it's going to expand. It's going to go further and further and further. Hopefully we get to see another season of it. Who knows? So, Ian, obviously there's no Chewbacca. I had a quick look for you. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, honestly looking forward to it. Yeah, it can't hurt, right? It needs to be added into the whole Star Wars world and whatever. So any fans out there, just, why not have a look at it?
Yeah.
Can I just add as well, like, for those of you guys who are quite skeptical about, anime, Star Wars anime, don't be, because you know what? The origin of Star Wars, especially with the lightsabers. Welcome back, Tubbsy. Where have you been?
I should go and check the washing. It was on the line and it's raining.
It is raining. It's raining in Sydney. What the hell?
Anyway, so yeah, don't be skeptical about the whole anime and Star Wars thing, because if you think about the origin of Star Wars, right? George Lucas, with the whole lightsaber, it's all kind of based on samurai. It's all based on kind of the Japanese fighting.
Well, remember,
style.
it's based on what is it, the Seven Samurai. So Star Wars has always intrinsically been linked to Japanese culture as a whole, and not just Japanese culture. There's part of Chinese culture and that in there as well, but it's never been mainstream. It's always been like a hush-hush project, but it's actually pretty massive in Japan. It is pretty massive in Asia from that point of view, not from the actual point of view we're familiar with. And it's nice to see it come to fruition and be a present thing. And I think a lot of people are going to love it, because it's another... It's a retelling, but it's also another point of view. Which I think
somebody just mentioned it. It's another creative expression of Star Wars. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, when you guys,
exactly right.
When you see the trailers, right? How they took it out, the lightsaber from that little Japanese little box, and the fighting style. I don't know. I find it really amusing, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
That's my comment. Thanks, Tubbsy.
So we'll obviously it comes out September 22nd, so that's September 23rd here, roughly, probably about the same time as when Mando and Bad Batch and that drop anyway. So we'll touch base on it after a week or so, and have a conversation. Apparently, all the episodes are dropping at once as well, so yeah, it'll be quite an enjoyable watch. The other bit of Star Wars news that came out this week, which has got a lot of fans rankled, is this.
Yes.
Which is
Matrix 4.
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic. Now, you know what? You can just stop the video right now. I don't own a PlayStation, so jam it up your butt.
So, this has rankled a lot of things, and the way they announced it was probably not the right way to do it. So it was actually during a PlayStation showcase. So this was actually a bit of a strange one because the actual company that's going to be putting this out is Aspire. And Aspire is primarily a PC orientated company. So it was a bit strange that they did it during a PlayStation announcement, but this is actually coming to PC as well. So it's a long overdue remake.
We really should say that yes, it's a PlayStation exclusive at the moment, and the fact that
it's not, as I just said, it's a PlayStation and PC exclusive.
Okay, so it's not on Xbox, is what I meant.
It is on Xbox. It's part of Xbox games.
I hope so, because it was originally an Xbox exclusive, and now it's a PlayStation. So just to let all the PlayStation, but I've already finished it like 20 years ago. All right.
But I should point out it was a PC console, PC thing first. So, so obviously this is going to be rehashed, remodeled. There's been a lot of people going, yeah, what are they going to do? They're going to change the game, etc., etc. But this will actually be the first Star Wars game that has been basically designed for the PlayStation 5. So Jedi Fallen Order got a patch so you could play it from PS4 to PS5. And I believe Star Wars Squadron's got it as well, but they were both PS4 games. So this is the first one of the next-gen consoles, which is quite interesting when you look at it, because this is something from nearly 20 years ago now.
Well, in fact, if I can just add, is actually...
He's frozen.
He's thinking to kill me. I was going to say.
He's frozen.
Yeah, I think you're right. Is it 20 years? No.
It's about 20 years, I think.
Yeah, it's about 20 years.
Yeah, this is the PC game, right?
Yeah, let me have a look. I'm pretty sure it's about 20 years.
No,
It's the PC game.
was that the Old Republic or Knights of the Old Republic? Because there was
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic. Then there was Knights of the Old Republic 2. I've got both of them on Xbox.
Which is the Sith Lords.
Yeah. Which introduced Nihilus and Malgus. Or Malgus was in that one. I can't remember. Yep. Malgus was in.
Malgus is in
that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was originally released.
One of my favorite characters.
It's not that far off. It was released in 2003. So it's nearly 20 years.
There you go.
And while we say that, we can finally, that'd be really, really nice if we could get some bloody Knights of the Old Republic figures, apart from Chewie. Was it Kalzar, whatever his name is, I can't remember. So I've ordered that one. And we've got Jedi Revan and Darth Revan, but where's Darth Malak? Where's Darth Malgus? Where's Basta Lashan? Where's some of the other figures? That'd be really, really nice to get some of those figures for a change.
Well, they've already been released as a vintage collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, 16.
Yeah, vintage Saga and Legacy had quite a bit of a time.
Shay did.
And you had comics, books, and everything as well.
Yeah, Shay Vizsla, yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, I've got most of them. I haven't got Shay Vizsla, thanks.
I know someone.
I've got all the other ones in 3.75. I just don't have Shay Vizsla.
Yeah.
Expect some hate mail, Harris. Ben's good for that shit.
So
Thanks for rubbing it in and all that kind of shit.
so what
thanks,
I
Gareth.
can say is with
Come back.
Asper, Asper's the one that's actually done a lot of the remakes in recent years. So Jedi, Outcast 2, even Jedi Star Wars Pinball and all of that have come from that studio. So they know how to keep the core of the gameplay in place that you'll remember, but actually update it a little bit. So Jedi Outcast 2 you can get on Switch from memory. Jedi Knight Academy you can get on Switch because I've played it a number of times. It's actually one of my go-to games when I need to relax with it. So you got something that's going to keep that core experience in place where some of the other guys will just throw it out and redo the whole thing.
Well, I actually found on the weekend a whole bunch of Xbox games that I forgot even existed. There's Republic's Gunship. There's so many Star Wars games I forgot even existed. They've just been sitting in a box in a chest in my man cave, and I'm like, I opened the chest the other day, and there'd be like 6 or 8 that I physically forgot even existed. Like Jedi Outcast was one of them. Jedi Academy. There's just so many that I forgot were even a thing.
Well, it's funny because one of the announcements that snuck through with this as well was that every other Asper game that you wanted to buy, you had to buy digitally. So what snuck through the other day was you can actually now buy the actual disc. So Star Wars Racer and Republic Commando are coming to Switch later this year. The Jedi Knight Collection, which is Jedi Knight Academy and Jedi Knight Outcast, are coming in a package as well.
Yep.
So it's weird how that's gone because normally you just get it on digital storefronts and that's it now. But when you look at it, like all the games, there's Star Wars, Jedi Fallen Order, Battlefront 1, 2, 3, then Battlefront 1 and 2 and the new one, Star Wars Squadrons, Knights of the Old Republic, Republic Commando, Lego Star Wars, Force Unleashed.
I love the Lego Star Wars. They're awesome.
Sorry, did you say Vault Unleashed?
No. I should know that.
What's that?
But you had Star Wars Dark Forces as well, which is one of the games I loved.
Whoa. Dark Forces. I forgot about that. That was awesome. I love that game.
Yeah, it's
nice.
like it's a really fertile thing. There's Rebel Assault, Rogue Squadron, Starfighter, Black Violet Shield.
I would.
You're always out.
And my
In other words, that's Ian's cue for wrap it up.
my barman's asleep as well.
I would like to hear from the audience. Who of you guys, any of you guys who are gamers? And then if I just go back at my library from my channel, Star Wars Vault Unleashed.
Sure.
Oh, God Almighty! I knew I should have made him. But to give you an idea of the games, like these are the ones you're looking at.
Master System. Actually,
yeah.
Ian and I both received from Mick Van a Retro Pi. What do they call it? A bloody Raspberry Pi 4 retro gaming system, and going through them, that's got like 23,500 games on it from various different consoles. I did not realize that there was so many Star Wars games. There is so many, 8-bit Star Wars games that I forgot even existed. I didn't even know existed.
Tubbsy, I don't mean to spoil the party, but if you go episode 31 on my channel, I'm not kidding you.
What time?
Episode 31, I actually interviewed the one guy from Sweden who actually got the biggest Star Wars games collection, even from 1977. We're talking about the Apple, the Mac, the original Mac sort of.
I reckon Ian and I both beat that now because we've got every single Star Wars game ever released, except for bloody Shadows of the Empire. It's the only one that's not on there.
I think you need to talk to Mick about that.
Yeah, I know. I actually found a game on there that I forgot existed, was the Punisher, the arcade version of Punisher.
Yeah.
I've been playing that. I've been playing the crap out of that.
So I need to bring something up here. Troy Terry Brook goes, "What's Bolt Unleashed?" That's really awkward for you, Harris.
Exactly. What is it?
Sorry, Troy. No
Is
idea.
Is that a
I've
question?
never watched an episode.
Hey Troy, are you questioning the team or me or?
No, I think he's having a go at you personally, Harris.
Okay. So Troy,
and that's justified as well, I might add.
yeah. So,
you need to rebrand it. You need to rebrand it and relaunch.
So Vault Unleashed, for those of you guys who are not aware, is actually a platform where Tubbsy, come on. Tubbsy, there is Troy Terry Brook was a special guest in one of the episodes. Please give a bit of respect. Tubbsy.
Okay. Hang on. You've interviewed Troy. You've interviewed some dude from Sweden, and
and me,
Ian.
and Ian. But Simon and I are what? Hang on.
No, he has asked me actually.
Do we need to change our deodorant? Do we need to change our deodorant? Hang on. You sir, are fired.
So I think I need to bring this up.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Who's that? Who's that with Troy?
I've got no idea.
I just said 8. Wow.
The helmet's confusing.
That's Tubbsy. That's Roast Tico.
Right.
With the extra helmet.
That's why it's so forgettable. I mean, rememberable.
I was going to say, I think your advertising has really slacked off. Like, I've already picked you up a couple of times for commenting on Ian's post without saying Star Wars Vault Unleashed. Yeah. But I can't even see, like, at the top of the screen there where his helmet is, it's actually got Star Wars Vault Unleashed there. You can barely read it. What is wrong with you, sir?
Needs a relaunch.
Yeah, look, I agree. Relaunch it. I'm not interested anyway, by the way, just quietly. But...
just quietly, he's not interested. Don't worry about it.
Hey, listen. Look, when you want to talk about Indiana Jones, you give me a call, all right?
That's all right. I feel like we need to come back to this one.
Until then,
that was the magic moment when Ian was 46, but now he's bloody 58.
Yeah,
that was before he was de-afroed.
44 at the time, but yeah, claiming on air that he was 46. Yeah, whatever. and I was sober, like.
So if anyone wants to talk about anything that we've spoken tonight, or you want to have a quick question, do a Tubbsy audition. No, we don't want to see that.
Who's this brilliant communist? Who's this comment from? I like this fella.
That's Troy.
G'day, Troy. You go all right? You do.
And then Nathan goes thumbs down on the last video.
Hey.
Nathan goes thumbs down on the last video.
Oh, okay.
I agree. They should have reshot it.
I haven't got one. I think
it was reshot on the Do a Tubbsy edition.
Yeah.
That's Troy.
Troy?
Hey?
Troy, you see, I only interview someone who is...
Oh, here we go.
Watch your mouth, pal.
Hang on. I'm just going to hit the record button. Wait a second.
No. We're talking about Star Wars Vault Unleashed.
Right.
So it's Star Wars Vault. So no, look, Tubbsy, I would love to have you.
I
do, but
when you get involved in Indiana Jones, we'll come and talk. He's over there somewhere. Down. He's in my collection over there somewhere.
All right. Tubbsy, we're going to have a chat offline.
No, we're not.
This died very quickly.
Simon, I don't know if we mentioned this because I did miss the first few minutes. I'm not sure if we mentioned this, but just very quickly because I did get these out ready just in time. Picked them up on Saturday. Oh, hang on. Flair. Captain
Yeah,
Rex.
I was getting there.
Sorry.
I quite literally have the tab up.
Right.
Like these.
Oh yeah, Ronald McDonald. We got Monopoly now, and you got Pokemon cards, so that'll be the next big scam.
Yeah, listen, I don't need McDonald's Monopoly. I'm already fat enough. Okay.
So as Ben sort of indicated, pop culture, not pop culture.
We don't have a run sheet, Simon. Where is the run sheet?
Exactly. Come on.
Even when I give you one, we don't stick to it.
Call yourself an admin? For fuck's
I know, right?
So actually,
basically you've got Rampart, Bad Batch, Clone Rex, and Imperial Shock Trooper, Imperial Crosshair. Should have got a new release instead of that. Which strangely it's got. Cool. That means mine must be coming. And Rampart as well. So these are now in stock. So you should be able to order it. If you want to save yourself a little bit of money, go to eBay. If you're an eBay Plus member, you can actually get them a little bit cheaper.
You're the king of fucking coupons, I swear.
I haven't paid full price per figure for a long time. And Ray's lightsaber has popped up for pre-order as well.
I have been waiting for one of these figures for a long time. It is finally, because of the Bad Batch, we've finally got a Phase 2 Shock Trooper. These have been one of my favourite troopers for a very, very long time. All right. I've got the original Shock Trooper that came out, the Imperial Shock Trooper from the A New Hope version of or the original trilogy Stormtrooper. Mm-hmm. But the Phase 2 Shock Trooper has always been my favourite, and I'm really, really stoked to finally have one of those. I've got another one coming, but yeah, that's good. Crosshair looks good, but I don't know, the gun just looks junk to me. It's just junk.
Tubsy, can I just interrupt very quickly?
No.
Can you just save your comments?
We're moving right along.
the little pew 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 pew.
Save your comments, because you know what? I'm gonna do a very Tubsy special.
Oh God,
must be a good thing, man.
Yeah. So save your comments, and let's come back to.
I wasn't finished, by the way, but anyway, go.
And this gets awkward again. Nathan asked, you guys got any updates on the new lightsaber, not Ray's, the actual telescopic one from Disney? Are you talking about the Ray one, which was sort of discussed, or are you talking about the actual real life one that they're talking about making? Because, that one.
I think it's more about the real one.
The real one. The last thing I heard is that you might actually see it next year. Yeah.
Okay. Or in the photon, yeah. It looks like a massive blowtorch, to be honest, like a massive gas axe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently Disney has a patent on it now. So generally when you get to a patent stage, it does mean that there is something really in the works. And it's not, sort of done away. Actually, I'll see if I can bring it up.
It's only $42,000, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to buy it at all.
COVID project.
So this is actually what it's supposed to look like, or what's supposed to go into the actual manufacture of it. So this is actually from the patent files.
How'd you get a copy of the patent files?
I know which tech websites get the goss.
So do we now, because it says The Verge up the top.
Good. It's not that hard. The Verge does basically everything. But yeah, basically they're talking about different things that they're sort of doing to make it real as well. Right. So it's interesting. It's going to be a while, I would dare say, before you actually see it in any way, shape, or form in any of the Disney parks. I don't think you'll ever be able to buy it separately for 20 or 30 years easily. But it does actually show you that they've got a fair bit of planning involved with it, which is good. Which, if you go to Disney theme parks, which if you're in New South Wales, you might be able to do it after 80%. But yeah, it's actually a really cool design. I'd love to see it in person. Even goes that I want one. Don't care if it costs both my nuts and Ian's. I want one. Troy just rang Harris and pleaded for the Tubbsy audition. Why, Troy? Why? Why would you do that?
You go on, Troy.
Yeah, Nathan, they were doing one at Galaxy's Edge, the hotel reveal, which, I mean, God knows, that's next year, as far as I know. But yeah, I don't think you'll be able to buy it individually. I'd be surprised if it's actually any way, shape, or form in the parks before then. Be really cool, and especially that hotel looks really awesome too. So now I've read what these lot are talking about.
Actually, I did pick up Rampart, right?
Who? Grandpa?
Rampart, yeah, Grandpa.
He probably has.
The only thing I'm excited about with this figure is the mouse droid. It's just great. Yeah, mouse droid, awesome. The rest, crap. I can't remember, in one of the groups that Simon and I are in, and Ian, I think, somebody asked, not you, Harris, because we didn't invite you.
Troy, I'd like to thank you for giving me a call before to encourage me to invite Tubbsy to who? No, I don't know him.
So anyway, one of the comments says it's doing his head in that you can see Rex's chin with the helmet on. I totally agree, but in all honesty, the original, you can do the same thing. So there's one of the originals. You can see his chin.
But remember as well, in the actual Bad Batch, you actually see that as well.
Oh, you can? Oh, I didn't notice.
Yeah, so it's not actually closed. It is actually open.
So there's the new one, right? Obviously, it's a dirty version, right? And the new poncho. So it's got a new poncho. But the main difference is on the helmet.
Got a new hat.
It's got a new hat. On the helmet.
OnlyFans. Dirty.
Dirty.
Don't encourage her. Actually, I'll have a look and see if it's on OnlyFans yet.
Why would you?
On the helmet, there is a visor. Okay, so the new seeing visor type thing, not the bloody rangefinder, but there's the new visor. The other main thing is, see on all the joins, they're gold, whereas the new one doesn't have the gold, or would be brass, I should imagine, or yeah. But the new one doesn't have the joint. Anyway, beautiful thing. I like it.
Why can't they produce this in 375? Fair income.
They have.
They have.
No, they have.
Yeah, they have. For Captain Rex, they have.
What?
Which one are you talking about?
With the poncho?
No, the poncho. But that's only new.
I haven't opened the new one yet, but there's new Rex.
Yeah,
no, old Rex. There's old Rex.
I'm talking about with the poncho.
I'd say it's on its way because they've been talking about Bad Batch going into 3.75.
Yeah, so. I know, but
and then you'll be welcome to the deluxe figures.
Instead of creating Bib Fortuna,
What's wrong with that?
Hey, why don't you create a big the new Boba Fett book of Boba Fett Bib Fortuna version?
Harris, all I'm going to say is that knowing your luck, it'll probably come out carbonized. So from Nathan, if you boys had to pick which Star Wars character you mostly resembled, who would it be? Looks or personality? Is it worth even asking, Ian? Because we know what this conversation is going to be.
Ian goes,
Ian's got his outfit already.
So you think you look like Grizzlaw, yeah?
Yeah, no. Wannabe Wookiee.
Chewbacca law.
Yeah. Chewy, whatever. Had a haircut. Fuck you. COVID. Yeah.
Ben.
Probably Lobot because I've got no hair and I'm a bit of a junkie.
You need a Samsung Android advice at the back of your head.
All I'm going to say is he can't be Lobot because Lobot's always on time and knows what's going on.
There you go. Give me some puffy sleeves. Fucking.
Hey, who is that asking the question?
Nathan.
Nathan,
Rose.
hey Nathan, thanks very much for the question, man. You know, for me, like, I don't mean to be
Rose
racist,
Tico.
but,
That's what you fucking look like.
it can only either go two ways, right? One is Chirrut Imwe or fucking Rose Tico.
Yeah, Rose Tico, definitely, 100%.
Hang on. I'm just trying to think of the Asian.
Most
reminds
days
me
during
of
the
that
week
blonde
feel
karate
blind.
dude.
So yes, absolutely.
Nathan.
You're right.
Oh, you know what?
Lobot.
You know, back in
just scrub.
I probably would. I'd be awesome at that.
Harris reminds me of that blind karate dude. Yeah, that's Chirrut Imwe.
Actually, Harris reminds me of that friggin' Ned, or whatever his name was.
Friggin' Dan.
Friggin' Dan.
The backup drummer.
Actually, back in 1999, when they first, when I saw the Phantom Menace in the cinema, you know those the Republic, whatever the name is,
Newt
The Senate
Gunman.
Troopers.
yeah,
Dickhead.
the Senates. They go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I said, mate, are these guys taking a
You're
piss
being
or
racist.
are they being racist? Fair income, anyway.
So I guess, seeing as I haven't seen anything, I'd probably be Baby Yoda because I get entertained with shiny objects all the time and I'm very hyperactive and then I want to sleep. So there you go. Troy goes, I'm 100% Dengar. Yeah, I feel like it sometimes. Don't worry. So, guys, what do you got planned for the week ahead? Anything you're looking forward to seeing or doing besides, looking at the four walls of your house?
Ian?
Oh, okay. All right. I was going to say, for me, not much. Work is full on. Yeah. Pass.
Harry, what did you buy off eBay last night?
Nothing. Okay. So for 48 hours, I have not bought a Chewy. Please, people out there, help me out. Sell me something.
I have this one you can buy off me. Very nice. Great success.
Yeah, fuck off, Borat.
I like Wookiee.
Edward asks, and this is for Ian, how was the homemade bread?
My wife Bianca is awesome. It was great. Ed, you've got to come over. Yep. After lockdown.
I was going to say he's got to get out of lockdown first to get into another.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Open bar.
Simon, what do you got planned in the week ahead?
Nothing much. Got work for the next couple of days, and actually, I won.
Are you going around for work though, or are you just at home working?
Going around for work.
Right. When are you going to Top Ride?
Not anytime soon.
Why? It's not an LGA concern. What are you marking off all the bad spot areas that you look after to start with?
Pretty much. No, actually, the one thing I'm looking forward to, which I actually won just before we started this, which is why I told you guys I was on the call. I actually wasn't. I was off the call. I was just watching this spin. I actually just won the Hot Toys Armourer from William Wang's weekly spin.
Fuck.
So I'm actually looking forward to getting that. Because, I actually don't have any of the Mandalorian stuff at the moment, but she'll be my first Mandalorian figure that I've actually bought. So,
nice. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
I'm pleased. I actually didn't even, I totally forgot it was on. I totally forgot it was on, and then quite literally, like, I came on to set this up, and I'm like, oh, I forgot about William Swing. I go in there and I go, oh, no, I'm not in there. And then, it spins around and, like, my name's just above the arrow. And I'm like, oh, shit, I'm still in it. And Ben will love this. Guess who was number 2?
Oh, dear.
Pete Morris. So I finally got one over him. Finally. It's taken 2 years, but I finally got one.
I love Pete. I spoke to him for a great length on the phone last night. And, he's a great friend and sucked in Pete. So
Did you say,
I think I've missed the last 2 weeks with William Wang's draws, and 2, maybe 3 weeks. I've had other commitments that I need to pay for. So anyway, I'll be back into it next week. And congratulations, man. Well done. I did come close, and I got in like the top 5 or 6 once before, and it's well done, man. Good, that's good work.
Yeah, it's funny because I nearly went with the Batman, but I've already got the 1/4, so I went. Yeah, I don't need the 1/6. But actually, the other thing I'm going to do this week is I'm actually finally going to unpack those DID and face pull figures that I got a couple of weeks ago. I haven't had space, but I've made space now, so that's probably the only other thing I'll do this week. So I guess that brings us to the end of TOYBOX Talks for...
Yeah, I'm doing fuck all this week too, so just bets quietly.
Yeah, I don't...
Yeah, thanks. Simon, you haven't even asked me what I'm doing for this week.
I did, but Harris is apparently now Ian, and Ian answered for you.
So
that's why I said, Harris, what did you win on eBay this week? And then Ian went, I haven't been on eBay for... So I just assumed.
I am so excited to tell you guys, for those of you guys who are still on, and my fellow stakeholders here.
Vape it down, vape it down, vape it down.
By the way, that's great. Thank you, Ian, for the reminder. Guys, I have been a smoker for how many years? 12 years or 13 years, something like that. I got into vape last year, but then I haven't vaped for 5 days.
Well done, mate.
Although I'm still holding it, but it's just nothing, right?
Yeah.
Put it down.
Put it down. Well done. Good job. I've been a smoker on and off since I was about 15, I reckon, and maybe 16, I'd say. And I've on and off, and the most I've ever quit for is about 2.5 years, and I've been off. I quit in April on Good Friday, so I've been off smokes for
this year.
A few months. This year, yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't smoked April this year, and it's good. It's good for the wallet. Fuck. It's good for the health too.
And that's the reason why I can afford. My number last week was 11 days ago was 100, and now it's 71. So thank you.
Wasn't it 76 before?
I support that habit.
76, whatever.
And to be honest, I know, and Harris, awesome work, mate. Well done. I know how hard it is to quit smoking. I did start vaping for a little while. I mean, I've tried to quit 1,000 times on different bits and pieces. I've tried patches. I've tried everything. The patches I couldn't get to stay alight or rolled up. But anyway, so I've tried patches. Actually, to be honest, and sorry, this is not Star Wars related, but I got actually violently ill with patches because I did not read the manufacturer's opinion, the little leaflet that comes with it, and I stuck my patch.
It's not an opinion, it's instructions.
No, it's a manufacturer's opinion. I stuck my patch here, and then I stuck my patch here, and then I stuck my patch here, and then by about the fourth day, I was throwing up. I was crook as a dog. You're not supposed to do that shit, right? You're supposed to. It's not like you're in church and you're like this. I was crook as a dog, man. I was horribly ill, and then I read the manufacturer's opinion, and they suggested that you shouldn't do it in the same spot within a week. So.
It's not a haka, bro.
Congratulations, mate. I mean, I don't want to be one of these avid, quit smoking people, and I've got heaps of friends that still smoke, and I can be around people that smoke, and so on, and it is bloody hard to give up. I actually really, really enjoyed smoking for a very long time, and I'm glad that I quit. So I haven't smoked since April, and I'm glad that I quit.
Yeah, look, anyway, this will probably for another conversation.
Drink instead.
But what I'm going to do this weekend, guys, what I'm excited about is
the fact you can go to the park and have a picnic with 5 adults.
Yes.
In your own household.
And
sorry, only if you're double vaccinated.
I am double vaccinated. Yeah, I'm actually got a few things to watch on eBay. And
we've got gaps to fill.
Right?
I can see gaps, man. Fuck. Are you a
collector
collector or what? Seriously.
Yeah, you know what, Ian? The problem with me is that so the gaps that I've got, the 71 or the 76, whatever, is Star Wars. Yes.
Yeah.
Now
I've
I'm
heard
starting
of it.
to think, and this is where my addiction comes into place. So Tubbsy, now that I don't have vapes or cigarettes, whatever, nicotine.
Imagine what will happen when he cancels his porn subscription.
And
that's how close money
comes to my head is droids and Ewoks.
Oh,
figures, and we're talking about $300, $400, or even $600 USD.
Yeah, well, I know that they're worth that much, but I don't know about you guys, but I am 1,000% against spending an absolute fortune. Like, I'd rather buy a Hot Toys figure than a Droids figure. I just, I don't know.
But,
I could be wrong, and I could be in the minority, but I just, even with the last 17 figures, I can't look at Yak Face and go, I really need to spend $500 to $700 for the figure. I'd rather buy 2 Hot Toys for that.
But this is where this is where you need to know where your focus is, right?
Yeah, true. I totally agree. And to be honest, like, my wife has suggested that because I've got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I'm collecting fucking just about heaps and heaps of shit. She suggested that the stuff that makes me happy, really happy, is the original. Where is it? The original vintage figures. Not this particular one. I just took it out of my collection because I got a slightly better one. So I'm going through and collecting where I can now some of the vintage figures, and I'm missing a few weapons here and there and what have you. But yeah, just trying to collect. I'm trying to change my focus. I've got lots of stuff that I haven't opened on that shelf there. I've got lots of stuff in boxes that I haven't opened yet. There's stuff that Simon and I have suggested that we want to collect. I've got the Defenders of the Earth figures. I just put them into a box. I haven't even opened them yet. I've put them into a box because I don't have room for them at the moment. The Phantom is probably the only one I'm going to open out of that range. But in the last few months, I've really started to change my focus, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little bit over the 6-inch figures. Yes, I have bought the latest wave, but I've been buying a lot more 1/6 figures than I have been the 6-inch figures, to be honest. I don't know what you guys think, but I've changed.
There's a lot of people doing the same thing. So I know Hugh Guthrie, for example, he basically he sold out of his Black Series stuff and went into 1/6 on a big scale.
Yep.
I know Robert Hull has done the same thing recently.
Robert's done the same thing.
Really hard.
Done the same thing.
I've actually found my habits have changed a little bit. So I've bought a lot more stuff by shopping around. So, like, there was a Harry Potter figure arts range that came out.
Yeah.
And I know Ian doesn't know much about Harry Potter, but but I actually picked these up from a guy in one of the other groups, and these figures were going for like $100 each. He'd opened them, had them on display and stuff like that. But I bought Harry, Hermione, and Ron for $130 shipped. So I saved myself nearly $300. And I'm only missing one from the range now, which, you know, I'm looking around and seeing what's out there. But I'm actually buying a lot more of that sort of stuff. I mean, you know, I've got 2 of the re-armored Boba Fett's in figure arts on order now, and 2 of the Mando, which I don't know I'm going to keep.
I ordered 1 of each of the new ones, yeah.
Yeah, because I got through on Nin and I got through on Amy eventually, which I can't decide which one I'm going to keep. I've got plenty of time though, but yeah, a lot of that stuff I'm not rushing out the door to get anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, yeah, I really wanted that Boba Fett. The Mando one, the only reason I ordered it this time was because I missed the last one, and this one's got the spear and the new hat. But yeah, I don't know. I don't feel lost in my collecting. I just need to focus a lot. And the Star Wars Black Series, I don't know if you can see, but they take up quite a lot of space. And the way that I've set mine out is I've got episodes. So episode 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 in each cube of the detail. They take up quite a lot of space. And there's quite a lot of figures in there that I like. But I don't know, I'm just a bit off them at the moment, and I've been contemplating dumping the whole lot.
Hey, or someone, who's that commenting on the? I'm starting to slowly recollect on the loose SW Cannon figures.
It's
Edward.
Yeah.
Edward. Yeah.
Ed, focus on the vintage. If you can recollect it or rebuy. Slowly but surely with a price that is right, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Speaking of focusing, because Ian's drinking wine, what's in your hand, Harris?
What?
I'm starting to understand the whole kissing Star Wars figures a little bit more now.
Actually, in Harris's defense, right, Harris is it's probably the first time you're ever going to hear this, right, and the last time either as well.
You're getting a Tubbsy compliment. Quick, record it.
Tubbsy, it's okay, mate. You don't have to say nice things to me to be in my episodes.
It's that.
That's his way of saying you'll take anyone.
Yeah.
All right. You know,
clearly, yes.
Look, in all honesty, it's for me, and I understand where you're at. It's the habit of having, you know, at the moment you're in that habit of having the vape in your hand. I always had the similar thing with my Zippo lighter. I was always flick, 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 flick. I always had that thing, you know, to do. And yeah, the way that I finally did quit, and when I say finally did quit, because I don't plan on going back, the cigarettes are way too expensive. I got hypnotized, and I was very reluctant to do that. And the best thing I ever did, I walked in smoking 25 a day and walked out smoking nothing, and I haven't touched one since.
You know, one thing I actually told Ian, I haven't actually had a drink for a week because, you know, we usually, like, when you have vape or cigarettes, it goes with a coffee, it goes with a drink or whatever, right? Perfect. So I purposely haven't drank for a week. because I'm trying to cut down on the vaping last week, right?
Yeah.
So tonight is actually the first time I actually drink without vape or without cigarette, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
What I've done, with instead of hypnotizing, is a force choke. I actually force choke myself. I pretend that this hand is Darth Vader, and it's
That's called asphyxiation.
To the audience, I apologize because this is done again. I mean, it is TOYBOX After Dark, I guess.
That's called asphyxiation, man.
You know what? Like we've all complained about lockdown, but I actually think it's done a lot more for us. Because I haven't had coffee in 6 months.
What?
What the fuck?
I had a little bit of respect for you. That's just gone now.
I haven't needed it. I really haven't needed it.
Really? Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you what. If there was no such thing as coffee, because I don't smoke anymore, if there was no such thing as coffee, there'd be a lot more dead motherfuckers in the planet.
Like I went and bought. It must have been March. I went and bought this sleep analyzer thing from Withings, and I put it under the bed like you're supposed to, and it measures how you sleep and snore and stuff like that. And when I stopped drinking coffee because I wasn't going to work, I didn't need the morning coffee. I didn't need that sort of thing because I wasn't doing the daily grind. I actually noticed my sleep improved quite dramatically. Like my sleep actually dramatically improved. So like I had a sleep rating of like 79% or something like that, and it's now as high as 89. So I'm actually a little bit less wide.
Simon, I can actually sleep better as well. If there is nothing to bid on eBay.
Don't worry, I'm in the same boat. Like there's something I bid on the other day, and quite literally it was like 2 a.m. in the morning it finished, and I stayed up until 2 a.m. and then I had to be up at 5 to go to work.
Like my wife got the shits with me like the whole week last week because she goes, "What do you have to put on alarm at 3:45 a.m. in the morning?" And then at 5:45, I said, "Okay, I'm so sorry. Yes, okay, yeah, I don't know why I turn it on. Don't play stupid with me, right?" And anyway, and then on Friday evening or Saturday morning, I told her, I said, "Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I've got an eBay auction happening at 4:45 a.m. in the morning, right? So I'm going to sleep in the couch downstairs and you can have a good rest upstairs, right?" But guess what?
You didn't win.
No, I missed the alarm. I didn't even hear it because I was too sleepy. So the alarm went off, right? And she goes, in the morning, she goes, "You still got your alarm on. Do you think I couldn't hear it?" And I said,
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I've cut coffee out. I haven't had Red Bull, and even the other day I had Macca's, and I felt like really violently sick afterwards because I haven't had it in so long.
Amateurs.
It is foul shit at McDonald's. I had some the other day for lunch, and I was just like, "Oh, this is vile."
The only reason I did it was that I remember fucking eating with that goddamn pop. And I'm like, "Oh shit, I feel like Macca's now."
Which one? Seriously?
I know. I understand that this is TOYBOX.
This one.
This is TOYBOX. What do you think about the KFC double? I tried this a few years ago. That whole double bun but chicken. The pizza.
Oh, the stacker. That's good shit.
Stacker.
Yeah, that's
you know what's back now is they've done the two fillets, and it's like a pizza. Yeah, they brought it back.
Yeah.
I got an email about it today.
That's
It's called the pizza chicken.
they need to make hot and spicy a regular thing. Like, I'm not talking once a
They
year.
do.
I'm talking
Zinger.
every year.
Yeah.
No, zingers are nice. I eat zingers all the time, clearly, because I'm a fat prick. But hot and spicy, just make it a regular thing.
That's right. I'll fix the Ian problem.
Well, whatever. Fuck you, man. Seriously.
Right, my phone is like right next to me. I don't want Uber Eats. But yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, and I used to get like Asian fusion on the way home, and I walked past the place the other day coming back from the chemist, and yeah, quite literally, the owner saw me and he's like, "Bro, I haven't seen you for ages. Where have you been?" I'm like, "I've been in lockdown." He's like, "You got to order stuff." I'm thinking, he's like, "Look, you've got like 4 things left, and then you get the platinum card." And I'm like, "When does it expire?" He's like, "For you, November. Everyone else, December." I'm like, well, fuck you. But yeah, it's weird. I mean, as much as we complain about it, like, you know, you wouldn't have given up vaping, you wouldn't have given up smoking, Ian wouldn't have given up tobaccos regardless. So I mean, it works for everyone.
Well, so there's one comment that I can't quite see who it's for, but yeah, I agree, Ben. Hot and spicy KFC should be made regular.
If you're asking about the Gallagher for Harris, that's Troy.
No, but there's a new one that's up there. I can't quite see who it's from, though. You agree, hot and spicy KFC should be made regular. Mate, fucking spot on.
That's Edward.
Edward,
100%.
g'day, Edward. Hey,
Edward, how are you, mate?
I haven't mentioned this, right? But hang on. I'll be back in 2 seconds, right?
Where you go?
KFC.
Anyway, just while we're waiting for Tubbsy, me and my wife, every time there's like, winter time, like during Zinger time, we go to KFC. We bring our own rice.
That's actually pretty smart.
TOYBOX to KFC, and then bring our own chili sauce, Asian chili sauce, right, and eat it with the KFC Zinger, so that we can feel like we're back in Asia. But
actually, I saw this 5-minute craft video the other day, and they were talking like this big bottle of wasabi and sriracha. So they basically got the little handheld hand sanitizer bottles, and they've cleaned it out, washed it out, and filled it up, and then sitting in the sink and pouring on there. I'm like, fuck, that's a smart idea. I'm gonna have to do that when I go back to work.
All right, so KFC, right, guys? A good friend of mine used to work for KFC, right? So because they know how I'm a collectibles person, so anything that's ever been released KFC wise, they bring home one for me. So I have a pair of KFC socks, and I have a pair of KFC beer glasses, and these were released for KFC head office people only. So I don't know how many that were, but anyway, I've got a 6-pack of it. I've got KPA. I've got KFC beer. I've got a 6-pack of that shit.
And you know what the worst thing of all will be? It's probably made out of KFC gravy.
It would not surprise me. It's probably a bit runky. Yeah, it's got sediment and shit in it, but yeah, it's KPA. It's Kentucky Pale Ale, the original herb and spice finish.
Okay, so that's even worse. All they've done is put water into a bottle and then put KFC.
But what it's for is when they reintroduce the Kentucky Fried Chicken and change it from KFC to Kentucky Fried Chicken. So to bring that back, I got some beer glasses. I got a 6-pack of beer and all over it with the KFC shit. Good work.
Nice.
I know that the time is 10:27, but it's still not appropriate for me to say anything. Anyway.
It's not 4 a.m. in the morning and he hasn't slept through his alarm yet. Yeah, I don't know what to say there, but obviously Macca's has Monopoly on now too, so that's just something to bear in mind. And we're all waiting for the Woolworths collectible bricks, which
Yay!
Don't worry about KFC Monopoly. KFC Monopoly. Big Macca's Monopoly. I've got KFC 6-pack of beer.
Well, it's actually Kentucky Fried.
Crap.
Actually, I did tell KFC head office that they really need to change their logo. Yeah, keep the finger licking good stuff, right? Keep the KFC, right? But change it to KFC. The only thing missing is U. So you've already got the letters KFC, and add the letter U. It adds.
This is why he doesn't work in marketing anymore.
That's gold. That's marketing gold. That would have been
Right? Yeah.
only thing missing. is U.
really, the finger licking good wasn't a suggestion for something else. Actually, you know what? The one thing I'd like to see KFC bring down, and I only learned about it last year, is the gravy burger. So it's like this chicken thing that you have in the middle, and you got the two buns, but you actually pour your gravy into the middle, and it's like eating gravy on chips, but it's like an actual.
Aaron ideas, man.
They did it in the UK.
Do you guys ever wonder why they don't actually put their own coleslaw? I reckon KFC is actually got one of the best coleslaw in the world.
It's no, not one of the best.
Okay, why they don't put it in their burger?
They do on one of them.
Yeah, they do on one of them.
One of the stackers or one of
Yeah,
the, it's
but
not a regular burger. One of, yeah.
It's
too
like
runny.
a one-off thing. They should.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's like Hasbro putting out.
Oh god, if they followed Hasbro's thing, you'd have 5 different coloured pieces of chicken in the same burger.
Yeah, true.
And it may have fur on it, and it may not be the fur you're thinking of. Okay, I think we've taken this to a whole new level of weird. We will be back probably next Monday because I can't be fucked doing another show before then.
Actually, just on that, Simon, audience, please do type in your comments about what do you think about Monday chats.
Yeah, good point. Good idea. Is Monday better for anyone else?
Yeah, put it out
Because
there.
there's not much happening in this lockdown world and not much happening in this virtual.
Very good idea, Harris. It did take you 3 hours to ask that question, but
Actually, I'd like to point out that since he stopped vaping, Star Wars Bolt Unleashed hasn't come up that much, so maybe that's the other addiction.
Maybe that's because I only Simon. I think that's because I
think that's got more to do with your sex line.
No,
What did you say, your sex line?
it actually got to do with just 10 minutes ago when I offered Tubbsy the opportunity to.
You didn't offer me shit.
Rebranding.
You can't call it rebranding when he strips the head off something. Okay.
Tubbsy, please.
I've got one of those.
I know we already did that last episode, didn't we? Oh, yeah. Well, fucking. Whoops.
Look, even Chewie can't keep his head on straight.
Yeah, somebody said Monday's good with me, just not Wednesday.
It's Edward.
Thank you, Edward.
Good night for you,
Always
boys and
appreciate
mentals.
your participation. And
That's Troy.
Oh, that's Troy?
Yeah.
Which one is Troy? Monday's good with me?
Good night, you bender mentals.
Yeah, that's typical Troy because he's 76 something, 78, 80, 86. Troy?
Fuck. Whoops, sorry.
Can't see comments.
Wants
me to drink, go for it.
So yeah, we'll probably be back Mondays. Inside the toy box, I need to do something with, but I haven't had a chance to. Don't forget Workshop Wednesdays with Ben, if he remembers to do it this week.
I was really, really busy at work, and I forgot what day it was. So
hit me up for a banner, bro.
could you? That'd be great.
yeah, I need one for toy box.
I'm like a banner moron. So yeah.
I'll send you a proposal.
And
It'll
if
be like
if
a
Simon
piece of
ever
paper.
if Simon
with
ever
banner-
has the
banner
discussion
codes.
with me so that we can so I can borrow his software, I'll do the what was it? May Divorce Be With You, and I'll do the proper workshop Wednesday with an interview one day. What's wrong with Chewbacca? His legs won't work.
Nothing wrong with Chewbacca.
He's a drunk fuck. He's fallen over.
Claim drunk fuck, $15. Go for it. Go.
Just a reminder as well, if you guys want to do an auction, there's a couple that are sort of scheduled in at the moment, and I'm coming back to do one soon. Once I pull my finger out.
Me too.
Me too.
And the other thing which I was going to mention at the start, and then obviously one of us wasn't here.
What?
I made 5 minutes for you. We are considering doing a group auction, so very similar to what you're watching now. We're just working out some of the finer specifics of it, but we're going to do one. We're going to do one sort of soon, and then we're going to do another one in November, and keep an eye on November because we've got some pretty big things lined up.
Simon, I reckon that's a great idea. Guys, what I have here is Star Wars bottle retro from 1981 that was actually created and it has been actually drank by me for a few years.
I'll be right back.
That drops the value. Sorry.
But it's got Star Wars Vault Unleashed germs on it. Think about the market value. I mean, you're going to be paying people to take that.
Absolutely. So I'm going to start this one tonight with $30. Let's start with $30. $30. Come on, anybody?
Is that in pesos?
$31.
You pay me $30.
Is that in pesos? 30 pesos.
Rupees.
Hey,
Indian rupees.
Speaking of cups, speaking of retro, just one thing. I haven't really got into this big time, but I did purchase this off Facebook Marketplace because I'm a big fan. Indiana Jones Cinema Cup. All right, so Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade Cinema Cup. Nice, great. They were like throwaway things. You could throw them out if you wanted to. But one of the best presents that I ever received off a very dear friend of mine, and I did get 4 of them. A very good friend of mine, his son was a massive fan of. He's an older gentleman. He's a massive fan of. His son, was a massive fan of Star Wars. The reason that it means so much to me is that he didn't have to give me this. All right, he could have just kept it in his son's room, who has since passed away. He come to a meeting that I was at, and I had a good chat with him. Anyway, he gave me something from his son's collection. His son was a massive Star Wars collector, and he gave me the Return of the Jedi cinema cups. Now, the reason he gave me 4 of them, okay, so they're all in various conditions of yellowing and so on, but the reason that this means so much to me, again, like I mentioned, is he didn't have to give them to me at all, is because that was the first time I remember going to see Star Wars at the movies with my mum. I know that she took me to see Empire Strikes Back. I was very, very young and I don't remember it, but I do remember the absolute awesomeness of going to see Star Wars at the movies. Return of the Jedi at the movies. I had one of these cups from that very, very time that I went with my mum to see Star Wars. I was, I don't know, under 10 anyway. When that came out, 83, so I don't know. I was shit at maths then and I was shit at maths now. But I was not very old.
When you were born.
I was about 7, all right? So it was 1976 I was born.
I think that was when you're 27, Tubbsy.
Yeah, in years.
Halo started the next year.
I actually had one of these cups, the exact same cup, because they only ever bought one Return of the Jedi one out. I had one of these cups when I was 7 years old, and I used it for a very, very long time until my mum threw it out when it split. All right. I now have 4 of them. And it just, I don't know, when my friend gave me this, it brought a tear to my eye because it brought back so many very, very good memories. And it's just a plastic cup that you could get at the cinema, and it brought back so many fucking good memories that I was blown away by his generosity. So anyway, that's that.
Cheers.
All right, I think we will call it a night. So I think there's only one way to finish tonight, and I think it's very important. It's a Ron Burgundy quote, and we'll end it with the tonight. So, okay, before we start, let's go over the ground rules. No touching of the hair or face, and that's it. Now fight. So, from all of us guys, you have a good weekend. We will, or a week ahead.
Harris has got no hair.
Well, that's why I said don't touch the hair. You got no hair, so there's nothing there. But we'll be back next Monday. And if you've got anything you'd like to see us talk about, or any special guests or anything like that, please feel free to let us know. Otherwise, stay sexy, Facebook. See you later.